More muscle up front for this 2nd and 2. They've got 3 tight ends out there. They're firing a deep ball for Kmet, and he is in.
What is going on, everybody? Oh, let's get things set up. Perfect. Seems like everything's working all right. Let me know if you can see everything, guys. Great to be here again. It's been another great week of Chicago Bears action, this time in training camp, as finally we've got some real football to talk about. Bear down is right. Should be a fun season one way or another, and no way to kick that off quite like hopping back into franchise mode, where, as you can see, we are at this point we are 2-0-1 if memory serves, with the Packers last place in the division. Thanks, James Young. You're looking great yourself. And we've got an unhappy David Montgomery here who has not been used much throughout the last couple of games. But on the other hand, we've got Justin Fields as one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the NFL right now. So, you take the good with the bad and you move on from there. Let's take a look at the NFL's passing at this point, because I think it's fun. Let's see. What do we got? In the NFL, Justin Fields is, at the moment, let's sort by yardage. Fields is a little further down the line than we'd want him to be, just given the fact that we don't play near as much time as I guess the rest of them do. But then when you sort by passing touchdowns, I have a feeling, yep, there he is. Jared Goff is currently popping off as one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, so that's hilarious. Turu, do I only play franchise? No, I don't. I've got a pretty decent ultimate team myself. I haven't logged on in a little while, but you know what? Might as well just show that right now because I've been working on a Bears theme team. Why wouldn't I, right? Why wouldn't the Bears guy work on a theme team? And with a couple of 99 overalls being offered right now, when I looked back into it earlier today, I was like, why not? The trouble has been trying to make it truly a theme team because they don't have enough like high quality players, or they didn't back when I was playing it. But ignore the fact that we've got a Packer at quarterback. Outside of that, you've got Cole Kmet, you've got Zach Ertz and Cole Kmet and Jimmy Graham as the first three tight ends. There was a chance that Zach Ertz was going to end up a Bear all off season, so I just sort of rolled with it here. Then we've got Bobby Massey at right tackle. Vander Roten and Jason Kelsey were two of the first cards that I pulled, so I've been running with them for a little while in Ultimate Team. And then James Daniels and Jimbo Covert are also obviously Bears on the line. We've got Devin Hester and Allen Robinson and wide receiver 1 and 2. Wide receivers 3, 4, and 5 get weird, so just ignore those and look back at the fact that we've got 96 overall David Montgomery and we've got Cordero Patterson as a backup receiving back as well as Fritz Pollard, 96 overall, back from way back in history. So yeah, the Monty Card stats are nice. He's basically untackleable. On defense, I've got a much more Bearsy team. So we've got Nick Kwiatkowski, which I haven't figured out how to get his chemistry to carry over to Chicago. I think I have to go get one of the power-up cards, which that's the worst, but we'll get there when we get there. We've got Kyle Fuller and Jalen Johnson starting outside with Amobi Okoye, who I didn't even realize was a Bear for a while, but he's one of the best Bears chemistry defensive tackles that I could get, sitting with Tommy Harris and Julius Peppers on the line. I'm happy with those two. Roquan Smith at linebacker, Lance Briggs backing him up, Adrian Amos and Eddie Jackson reunited once again. If you can't tell, yes, I am missing a Khalil Mack card, but they're a little harder to come by than, say, the Robert Quinn card. I've picked up a good few Bears, though, overall, and at the end of the day, I would tell you that I'm happy with this. Obviously, it's not perfectly Bearsy overall. I'll be right back. I think a window just blew my door open, so there's a storm out in Dallas again. Just a second. We're good. So that happened. Yeah, the wind just blew one of my doors open that my cat likes to go in and out of. But, you know, Kitty's safe, so we're all square. And it's back to getting to Madden. So let's do it. Perfect. So let's get away from Ultimate Team and back into franchise mode where we are 2-0-1, looking to compete for the division. Oh, Kitty safe is really important, don't you think, Max? I'll try to find him at some point, but I have to imagine that the wind's got him a little bit freaked out. Let's see. Derek, that's a good question, isn't it? It depends on if I'm a master of the occult. Let me see. That's coming in. J-Fish. I am, but I haven't used Twitch in a little while. I want to try to use this off-season. Being very straight with you guys, there's an element of content creation that I want to be a little bit more consistent at, and I'm down to get into more Twitch-related stuff, especially given the amount of football things that there are to do out there. But we'll get there when we get there. For now, I want to focus on YouTube because I've got a good little channel of subscriber base here, and once we're really rolling, we can start multi-platforming, but we'll get there. So at this point, we'll let's listen to David Montgomery and see what he thinks. He's mad, but you know what? The fans love it when we get David Montgomery involved. So you know what? While there's only one football to go around, I think we can satisfy him this weekend. So Let's see if we can't do that against the Colts. We'll put him in, or we'll give him more of the game plan. He's got a nice little morale boost right here, so we'll work with that. So let's see. He's got to get 12 touches or 100 combined yards. We can make that work. Jeremy, I downloaded a roster update. That's how I got Justin Fields at this point. And you better believe, Tutu, that I did. But so let's see. Yeah. You got it. That makes sense. That's cool. So let's see. Disregard DeForest Buckner. You know what? We're gonna just disregard him because we don't really work from there. Let's see. We've just gotta beat the Colts. I can do that. We don't need to commit to slowing him down because we're not gonna get there. So let's go ahead and start weekly training. We'll negotiate with Allen Robinson a little closer to We'll negotiate with Allen Robinson a little closer to like mid-season, I'm thinking. We got to continue to like convince him that we're doing the right thing. I think if we go wide receiver, by the way, let's see. We've got weekly training. Let's do a wide receiver quarterback setup here because we want to see Justin Fields obviously get better, but we also want to see Darnell Mooney here grow along with him. So the faster we can move those guys' development the faster we can move those guys' development, the better. So we're going to let them handle practice because I don't like it. But we'll go there from there. Yeah, it's a bummer, Turu. We can't use him online. But I'm sitting here just waiting for Madden 22 at this point. I've got no problem with it because hopefully that means that they'll rate Justin Fields a little bit better. But, you know, no promises, right? And let's kick this game against the Colts off. There's old Deshaun Watson right there in front of your screen. How are you guys doing, by the way? Sunday afternoon, how you feeling? We got 1 week of camp in the books. Nothing particular has come out. It's not like anybody's saying, wow, Justin Fields is really struggling. And on the other hand, you've got Justin Fields, he's hit some passes. Some passes have been dropped, so on and so forth. I'm not worried yet, personally, but how are you feeling? Like, where are we? Just still excited? I know I'm still excited. Yeah, preseason's almost here, thank goodness. I'll have to figure out my way around a DMCA there because I want to talk about the preseason, like absolutely, but I don't want to end up in some kind of jam with the NFL because they don't offer preseason all 22. And yeah, I'm hearing Trey Lance is looking good too, though to be fair, I don't know. It's hard to trust camp reports because Trey Lance looking better than Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't sound that hard. Whereas Andy Dalton sounds like he's legitimately impressing plenty of the Bears beat writers from what I know. Not that he's destroying everybody, but more that with Andy Dalton and Fields in town, it's not like Fields is competing against Trubisky and everybody's going, wow, it's him against Andy Dalton. So that's the point, Slim Jim. They don't give me all 22 footage of preseason, which is a bummer. In fact, the Game Pass thing this year is really screwy, but, you know, we'll figure it out as we go. Let's see, who do we got here? Jack Doyle. Hey, Case, how you doing? Let's see. Camp lasts until September. Yeah, early September. Basically all of August. Oh, man. Do we play the Bills, Derek? Is there going to be Fields versus Trubisky? Are you kidding me? Because that would be hilarious. Or Foles versus Trubisky straight out. All right, so here's Daz Newsome turning a kick, and he's past the 25. There we go. I had no idea. I hadn't looked at the preseason schedule. That is hilarious. That should be so funny. Here we got Justin Fields. Their little animation for Fields is terrible, but that's how it goes. Hey, Jay Fish. Nice to see you jump in. Yeah, I heard the same thing about Trubisky. Kind of funny to hear. Not that I disagree or am ever going to dog on the guy. Oh, for sure, and for sure, Case. Just to give you, to give my take, the sooner that the Bears can ship Foles out, the better. I mean, look, this isn't saying much, but Nick Foles is, in my opinion, without a doubt, the best QB3 in football right now. Again, that is like a tiny trophy. That's MVP level of just like, oh, hooray, you're the best quarterback number 3 in football, huh? But I think that helps them for teams like the Jets, teams like Indianapolis, teams that basically, great. This is going really well, by the way. Dave Montgomery wanting more touches it's, you know what, we'll work with it. So let's see if we can't get, oh man, R.I.P. Jake Butt sitting on our team, taking up a roster spot. Thank you, Cole Kmet. Oh, look at him running over somebody. There you go. But yeah, I'm with you, Derek. I think that I think that there's a very decent chance that Mitch will always look pretty good in settings where he can be comfortable, like a practice. But then the pads come on, and you never know. Like it's not a you never. Let me get this right, because I feel like Mitch deserves it. I think the trouble for Mitch is that he gets uncomfortable really easy. And that's okay. That happens to guys all the time. I mean, Mitch, when he was comfortable, looked phenomenal. Easy to watch. Like, and succeeded a lot. Then Mitch, when he's uncomfortable, which defenses can unfortunately kind of make him uncomfortable a little easier than some other players, he falls off quite a bit. And that's okay. I mean, it happens to a lot of players. Ryan Tannehill's kind of similar, where he looks really, really good in situations where he's really, really good. But I tend to doubt that Ryan Tannehill would succeed quite as much in, oh gracious. Let's see that 4-4 speed fields. Come on. Not quite. Let's see, what is it? 4th and 6 at the 46. Look, we could punt. I don't think we need to. Let's go to the gun. Yes, there's an element of this that's like, wow, Robert being aggressive. But I've never been a huge fan of just kicking immediately from the 46. You're so close that if you fail, your defense has plenty of room. I think we can get something on this double cross concept because the linebackers are going to have to pick somebody. And I trust Kmet and Cohen. And if worst case scenario, we'll throw that dig to Goodwin. So let's watch Kmet. Kmet is wide open. And he's going to tell me he got the yardage. Oh, they didn't count it? Are you kidding? Oh. Bummer. Marcos, of course I do. Man, it's been a little bit since we got going again. All right, so I thought Kmet had that yardage, but you know what? The defense will be out. I almost want to look it up on replay, but I don't think it actually matters. So let's get things going. Case, what were you saying? That the best thing to do in these is to blatantly go into the nickel and call a blitz? Let's do it. Let's go pick some. Let's pick some stuff up. All right, so I'm thinking Goldman's going to be a nice little space eater for the Bears this season, especially based on what we're hearing in training camp. He's playing fine, which that's good enough, honestly. Like, you start with fine, you go from there. But let's get stuff going. This Mike blitz should help out. Yeah. Derek, it was either that or it was either going to be him getting robbed by the refs or it was either going to be him taking another penalty of some kind. Let's see. Honestly, the Saints, or Case, talking about Mitch potentially going to the Saints, I think that makes a lot of sense. If there's one thing I am worried about, and I mean worried in like air quotes, it's that Jameis and Taysom are actually going to be decent enough on that roster to deny the Saints from a true reset. Now, granted, I am a fan of the Bears, and I specifically say that, oh, gracious. Roquan could not get there, and Wentz picks up the yardage. Come on, guys. But so, the trouble that I guess I have with the whole Saints situation is, since I've been a fan of a team that's lost a lot of games over time, I'm definitely of the opinion that you need or want a really, really good player, like at quarterback, like a Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, so on and so forth, that it's harder to find a true reset at quarterback than just, I don't know, anything past about the 15th pick of the draft. But then again, that's exactly where the Patriots found Mac Jones, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see. So, talking about Winston, Case, I feel like Winston's ceiling is insanity. Like, Winston's ceiling is no question. He's phenomenal. But the trouble is that I feel like Winston's always due for a certain amount of turnovers, and that's not bad, like, if you're willing to die or live and die by them. But, oh, gracious alive, no way. Don't you dare. Ugh. The AI kills me on roughing the passer calls. Mac did not do anything in this, but it throws that at me every time the guy gets close and the quarterback just lets go of it at the wrong time. All right, so things not moving the way that we want to, but we will make this work. Great. Mac in coverage getting burned, not surprised. So obviously this isn't the start that we wanted, but we're going to make this happen. Fields can come back from there. Yeah, I feel like, Case, that's a slider I may need to go for here in this franchise mode. But it's rough. Let's see. So Jay Fish, I do think that a trade for Foles makes a lot of sense. Like, at this point, and you guys know me, I try not to be a homer as often as I can, but like, Foles getting traded makes too much sense to me. It's the kind of thing that I feel like that's what happens in camp. Somebody gets hurt, exactly like Wentz, and from there, somebody else comes out and swings a trade for Foles, who's a bona fide backup throughout this league, and then he gets a chance. So I don't think, Drew, you're talking about whether Sean Payton's going to potentially end up a Bears coach. I mean, like, maybe, like, dream big for sure, but I don't think so. I don't know if he would just about ever get truly fired by the Saints. Obviously been wrong before, but I feel like if something goes wrong for if something goes wrong here for, come on. If something goes wrong for Peyton in this year, well, he just had Drew Brees retire, so I almost feel like he's going to just get kind of gifted he'll get gifted a chance, basically. He's got a year or two to turn this thing around in New Orleans because he's Sean Payton. He can kind of do what he wants. That's just my guess, though. So, Case, talking about, like, Nick Foles, I agree. Like, there's definitely a lot to be said for a backup quarterback, $7 million deal being expensive. But at the same time, expensive has been a moving needle recently. Like, yes, it used to be really expensive, $7 million for a backup, but when you've got Zach Wilson and that's it, or for instance, if you've got, let's go by concept, I want to get a sweep going. Sweeps in Madden are practically broken, but that doesn't mean that I don't like cashing in on them. I feel as if with Foles, you've got enough juice in the tank purely because he failed in Chicago, no doubt. He failed in Jacksonville as a starter, absolutely. But the Frank Reich teams and whatnot, I've got to think that they're going to be pretty convinced that they can get some mileage out of a guy that they won a Super Bowl with. But maybe I wouldn't call it, oh gosh, Justin, that was supposed to go to Komet. Maybe I'm a little biased in that. Maybe I'm hopeful even, but that's the impression I get at least. Let's see. All right, we got to basically find 10 yards. Goodness gracious. We've got to find some points here. I usually like a lot of the gun packages. I feel like this flanker spot could work. A lot of it's going to be on Mooney, and let's get Goodwin on a true slant. So that's what that should look like. And Goodwin's there. I'll take that. I don't like necessarily abusing the slants, but that's how it goes. Yeah, Case, that's a good point about Doug Peterson. I'm pretty surprised too. True, maybe, but I would say that we're a Dalton injury away from playing Justin Fields, and that's something that I feel like the coaches are more than fine with that. So I don't think that they're going to be too worried about potentially just rolling with Fields should Dalton get hurt. And then at that point, if you lose Fields and Dalton, now you're in such deep problems that no team's reasonably going to be able to plan for that. Okay, David Montgomery wanting 12 touches is really hurting, by the way, because we are not producing on the ground. Maybe part of it's that I keep going inside zone. I know Bears fans everywhere are probably fuming with my play calling, but this is why I like just passing the ball. We throw to Robinson, we get the yards. Easy. All right, so that should take us down to the 2-minute warning. Looks like right now our best bet is to keep trying to feed the ball to Montgomery so that he gets his touches and he ends up happy. Because for those who didn't catch us before this game started, Montgomery wants 12 touchdowns and he's going to get really mad if he doesn't get them. So another option would be that we can give him touches in maybe the passing game. Maybe. Let's see if Montgomery can shake open in worst case scenario. We can hit him on, or we can run regular mesh. That's a nice little starter play. Ooh, I don't like this, but Fields does. Here we go. 4-4. Oh, come on, Justin. How early do I have to hit the dadgum slide button? Gracious alive. Because I was sitting there like, and slide. Nope. Oh, well. We'll have to make a play to come up with that. That is, I fumble way too often carrying the ball. I feel like the quarterback should know to just, like, hang on to it. But there you go. The new Xbox, no, I don't. I'm playing off of a PC. Josh, I agree with you. Let's see if we can't get Montgomery onto a screen. Come on. Oh, shoot, Iggy's playing. Well, I don't know what package specifically got us into that, but I don't think I like it. Let's go. Oh, dime? We don't need to be a dime.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Throwing again on second down. Wentz.
Come on. There we go. Nice sack.
Have to eat this one as down he goes.
Perfect. Perfect. 3rd and 7. Man, blitzing works a lot better than coverage in Madden. That's for sure. Almost to a sad breaking point, but it lets me definitely lets me play with Roquan Smith here. So let's use Hicks, bully this inside rusher, and it's not gonna work there. Let's see. So for the new Madden, PC is gonna act like the really? How so? Yeah, no, 12 touches. It said, let's see. Do I absolutely have to have enough yards? Because I could have sworn it said 12 touches or 100 combined yards. Man, it's a bummer too, because we were right there in the end zone. Oh! Was that Roquan Smith with the huge hit? I think it was. Oh, that was nasty. Let's take a look at that. Carson Wentz with the pass, and then Roquan Smith came in and just blew him up. We got a nice little bit of annihilation there. Ball comes right out on the slant. Look at Roquan redirect. This is one of those that's on everybody's Twitter, like all of a sudden. Let's see, how do I do this slowly? Is there like a slow motion option? Maybe, but I definitely know that we can zoom in a lot. So Carson Wentz distributes the ball, and boom, annihilated. Nice pickup immediately by Bilal Nichols. Opportunistic, and the Bears have the ball. I'll take it. So let's get this thing moving. Immediately, this is Justin Fields' moment to go for it. Let's see. Oh, he'll still be sad. That's a bummer, Slim Jim. Let's see here. Oh boy, we got to get rid of this ball. Right, exactly. Exactly, Derek. It's like he just wants the world. All right, so verticals, they were ready for. Let's see if we can't get some of the yardage then. Well, all those are just vertical packages. Yeah, I like flanker. Flanker works here. So let's call that same audible. I like the idea of having Goodwin on a slant at this point. And we have blown it. Let's get the play reset. There we go. Now we've got everything we want. So if it's cover 2, we're going to try to hit Robinson on the hole shot. And if not, we're going to go, yeah, there it is. That's what we want. That's what we want. There you go. So this, by the way, is actually a throw. Interestingly enough, like you want some analysis, just like a little clue. I have a feeling Justin Fields is going to hit this quite a few times this season. So this is your standard cover 2 setup. As a matter of fact, it's specifically Tampa 2, where you're going to see, like, let's get as far out as we can go. So you're going to see 2 safeties here and here with flat defenders on each side, and then usually like a dropping nickel corner or a linebacker covering these areas. And what makes it Tampa 2, for those who don't know, is that the 2 safeties cover this zone and this zone, but this linebacker drops deep, just like you're seeing. So he comes off the line and he drops into this zone, meaning one of the most popular ways to attack it is to try and specifically target the area between this flat defender and this cornerback. So a smash route just like this, if you hit it on time, the throw goes straight to your wide receiver, and Justin Fields threw this all the time at Oklahoma State. Because not only did he have the arm strength to drive it from under center straight to the wide receiver, but he could make it accurate. So even things along the sidelines just like this is actually the exact kind of thing you'd see on Ohio State film all the time. I have a feeling you'll see this. Dadgummit, did I say OK State again? I am so bad at that. Ohio State. OSU, as I learned it at Baylor University, was always Oklahoma State. So every time I see OSU, I have to remind myself that that's what that looked like. Thanks for pointing that out, though. So let's see. They better say that the receiver had possession, because if not, coach is going to be mad. Let's see. Skip the review process. They're going to say he didn't. Robinson didn't hang on. What a bummer.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes.
Unbelievable. The challenge turns us back. So just another setback. No worries. Robinson will make the one-hander, and we'll move down the field. So now we got 12 seconds instead of 18 seconds. And a lot of that, I mean, that's just a trust throw. And, of course, clock was running. Dang it. So we're going to try to put this ball into the end zone from here because we have guts. Let's see. What can we do to try to put the ball in the end zone from about 11 yards out? I think slants is a decent concept here, if only because Madden struggles to track it, and I want to score. So let's see if we can't get Allen Robinson running wide open. There he is. He's in the end zone. Yeah. So, Turu, what you just talked about, Allen Robinson moving into the slot, it's really interesting that you talk about that because I don't think that that's... I feel like fans are running with the Bears want to put him in the slot more as Robinson's going to play out of the slot primarily, and I don't expect that to be quite the case. You've got to be kidding me. Of course I hit the post. Robinson's probably going to play about 35 to 40% absolute maximum of his snaps out of the slot, and a lot of that's because it's a surprisingly common offensive trend nowadays to put your best receiver in the slot where they end up playing like the nickel corner and so on and so forth. So at this point, Robinson moving to the slot, that's a huge win because it means that corners like Jalen Ramsey or Jair Alexander and so many different players that are really good outside corners, they're going to play against Darnell Mooney or Damiere Byrd, guys that are faster. So while they could shut them down, it's not near that big a deal because Allen Robinson, who eats underneath in the first place, will ultimately have he'll be able to work right out of that slot, run a lot of very standard slot routes that attack different things, like whether it's a slot post, slot fade, slot in, slot out, so on and so forth. I mean, your standard route tree, since Robinson's so much better, since Robinson's so much better at catching the ball in trafficked areas and at anything about under 25 yards, I feel like it fits in perfectly to play things out of the slot. But so, yeah, that too, deep voice, that the closer you are to the ball, the more it helps. Think about it as what is the word? More of a safety blanket role. With Fields then attacking downfield to faster guys, I get it. I understand exactly why they're going with that. So, Case, I want to see a little bit more out of Cole, but I feel like I am a lot more patient with Cole Kmet than some of the other people that I've seen, certainly on Twitter, who want to just throw him away immediately are, because the Cole Kmet that I've seen at this point seems like a guy that hasn't had an offseason yet. And I can't get too mad about the fact that Cole Kmet hasn't had an offseason, because he didn't. I mean, I'm really curious to see who the new Cole Kmet is, if you will, because I think that tight ends predominantly take jumps between years 1 and 2. That's apparently just the most notable moment for tight end related growth. So we should get a much better picture of, quote, who Cole Kmet is after this season. Right, at this point, we got a 7-6 game. The Bears punched it in, but bad luck took a point away with the kicker. So 7-6 could be worse, not the greatest, but yeah, we'll see how this works. Let's go cover 4. I feel like Case is going to make fun of me when this doesn't work, but cover 4 is always a good concept right around the 50 because a lot of teams want to immediately move on to an end zone shot. There we go. There we go. Flex it, Goldman. A lot of teams want to cross the field and take an end zone shot because, again, at that point, most quarterbacks have the range to put the ball about 50 yards and get something. So cover 4 attempts to take that away. Let's see what kind of concept they were running because I'm curious if we got a true coverage sack or if Madden let me off. So it looks like they ran a triple vert, which is exactly what I was looking to stop, by the way, because as soon as you run cover 4, you've got, in this case, T.Y. Hilton's bracketed. This tight end, maybe he's open. Hard to tell because Eddie Jackson could just Madden spin and come at the ball. But I'm telling you, a lot of teams, apparently even in Madden, they'll cross the field and they'll take a shot for the end zone. Cover 4 stuffs it, gives Eddie the chance that he needs to make a big play. So let's get into a quick Mike blitz.
They fake the give. Now wins.
Make a play. There we go, Jalen. There we go. Bears. True, it's hard to tell. I feel like if there was a play calling critique that I would have for Matt Nagy, and there is one, it's that the more I go back and watch those Nick Foles games, the more I have absolutely no idea what he was trying to do. Like, I think that he was trying to move the pocket just enough to get an offensive line that was not otherwise succeeding in the game. But let me see. Oh yeah, deep voice. It's a problem, by the way. But there was so much to Foles' game that just didn't fit with what the Bears were trying to do with him that I ended up pretty disappointed with specifically what was going on there. With Mitch, I actually feel like they just found the sweet spot of what Mitch likes and what Mitch doesn't like and just ran it a lot. And to be totally fair, I kind of got the impression it worked for him. Let's see. Is there a way to flip this to... I don't think there is. So let's move to levels because we can. Let's see if we can't get Mooney over on the dig here. Nice throw, Justin. Oh, Darnell's off. There we go. So all that to say that whenever I look back at Nagy's play calling in this last year, I think with Mitch, it looked pretty much exactly the same as what we ultimately saw Laser do with Mitch. But with Foles, there was so many execution errors and so many little play calling just questions, I guess, that you left with. I mean, there's a reason that every single person watching a Bears game left confused after what was going on. That I find myself looking back at those games saying, gracious alive, Cohen didn't get out there. Let's see. Yes, Slim Jim, I did. Leave it. Let's just run another screen. I think they're going to come for us. Okay, we got out here. Cohen should get 10-ish. Yeah, that works. All right, so we've got 3rd and 11. I don't love the tight ends right now. Let's get a bunch set. Mesh would be nice. Yeah, bench wide dig should be fine. So cover 2, we're looking at Mooney right there. Cover 3, we're looking at Robinson. So let's watch that outside corner and figure out what it is. Looks like cover 2. Throw is not quite there. We're on the side of the 47 that I hate being on, so we're going to basically just run another play. 3rd and 11. I don't know. I think we can get it, but I'm a little too gutty for my own good sometimes. It's also a video game. Let's see. Goodwin is looking good on this. I always like the way that Madden matches up the inside receiver. Oh, and he's going to run all the way if he doesn't get... Yeah, I think you're right, Deep Voice, that it was just a smidge late. Let's see what we got here. If somehow my slant RPO became... Oh, you're killing me. James Daniels. We got a punt there. Nothing I could do. 4th and 21. Yeah, we got a punt. Like, at this point, you're getting a lot of mileage out of the boot. He really just wanted to catch that? Hot dang. Let's see, are you guys... Turu, going back to Cohen, I don't think re-signing him was a mistake at all. I love Cohen. I think, yes, I get it that everybody wants to talk about how he's a running back. You don't sign running backs. I think the difference is that you generally don't want to re-sign feature running backs. So guys like Cohen, who can play more of a wide receiver role, I think it makes sense. Think about it this way. The money that Cohen got paid comes almost directly out of Taylor Gabriel's contract. Gabriel at the time was being paid as a wide receiver 2, which, as a wide receiver 2, he was being paid approximately $6.5 million. Now with Cohen being paid about $6 million, I look at him and I think if Cohen plays out of the slot, that fits him. If Cohen plays as a running back, that fits him. It all just depends on how defenses line up against him, and I love the electricity that he can bring. He's just not your conventional running back. But I actually do think that it's easier to find the David Montgomerys of the world. I'm not trying to criticize Demo as I say that. I love the way Demo runs the ball, but I think it's easier to find guys like him as Cam Akers and Ronald Jones and so on and so forth show us across the league than it is to find those receiving weapons out of the backfield, a la Cohen, Austin Eckler, and so on and so forth. So when I look at Cohen's contract, no, I don't think re-signing him's a mistake, especially if he maintains his weaponry expectations, but I do wonder what that means for the Bears paying Montgomery, or whether they expect Khalil Herbert to be the heir apparent, which, it's funny, Harrison, because you just asked about, like, what are Khalil Herbert's expectations? I think that makes a lot of sense. Like, I don't know what he's going to look like this year. He's got quite a road ahead of him, with Damian Williams in front of him, and David Montgomery obviously taking probably the bulk of the carries. I'd be shocked if he didn't, at the very least. So, what do I expect for him, like, soon? Not a ton, unless somebody gets hurt. And that's where Cohen, being potentially slow to come back, could actually give Herbert a bigger feature role than we anticipate. So it's kind of nice being really deep at running back. Like, I really like this, where I would look just about anybody in the eyes. Gracious alive, Carson Wentz running for 20 yards on me. He's got 40 yards rushing. That hurts. Let's see. The sophomore running back that scored a touchdown against the Jags last year. Are you thinking Artavis Pierce? Did he score against the Jags last year? I know that I heard something about Pierce in camp looking pretty spry, but I wouldn't know. Like, I really have no idea how much to trust camp reports outside of general impressions of quarterbacking stuff. It's nice to hear that Fields is going through reads. It's nice to hear, shamelessly speaking, that Nagy's mad, because I think that personally an angrier coach in this setting, look at that tackle job. Nobody look at that tackle job. But at least we get the ball back sooner. Try to do something with that. But it'll be interesting to see how things play out. If there's one thing that, oh man, vengeful, you and every other Bears fan, the Bears' current ticket lottery system has been described like as only bad. Bad is the only thing I've heard anybody say about the lottery, especially given that they're supposedly giving out about, 1,500 tickets every day, and they're getting approximately 300 Bears fans in attendance. Like, I know they could fill all those seats if they were just public tickets, but due to the lottery system, nobody's there. Like, I didn't expect it either. I wouldn't have thought that the lottery system would cause such attendance issues. All I can say is that it did. So at this point, I would hope that the Bears can find something. By the way, I'm glad that I was able to squeeze that in. What'd you see, Dave? That's cool that you were in camp. I think that Diggs going to open up over time, and it does. Nice catch, Robinson. Who's got the flag? Oh, boy. Face mask? Yeah, we take those. We take those. With the penalties that we've had overall, I will take that 100 times out of 100. Let's see. What am I not worried about, Dave? Tell us about it. Give us the first-hand eyes. Here's the Mitch play. Get there. Harrison, I expect the Bears to keep probably 5 running backs. I mean, it depends on how much Pierce plays special teams, truth be told, which I don't know the answer to. But if he's special teams consistent, this is a terrible play in the end zone. What did I call that? Yeah, let's see if we can't get Mooney in it, because the slants have been working for us. The Colts haven't been covering them. We take this. Yes, true. That's exactly what normally used to happen. People would just get there early and show up. That's what I did, certainly. All right, so my brain says stick switch, but my other brain says we run normal stick. Cohen should be able to get open. Worst case scenario, we've got Robinson, but we should be able to work either Goodwin or Cohen. I like the Goodwin setup here, and he did not catch it, so we'll have to go get that ball back. That's fine. Just gives Fields a better chance to come back and make a play. Man, I can't tell whether it's all pro or the fact that my offensive line isn't very good, but I am definitely really struggling running the ball. I feel a lot of kinship with the way Matt Nagy called plays so far. Oh, man, vengeful. Would I be happy with 800 yards and 4 or 5 touchdowns out of David Montgomery? You bet. Or not David Montgomery, Darnell Mooney? Yeah, that's awesome. That's bona fide wide receiver 2 kind of play. And that's what I'm hoping for. I would love him to go for 1,100 yards just like everybody else does. But the Bears haven't had a 4,000-yard passer ever. So I'm not getting too excited until we see the results. And that's one of those kinds of results that I'm looking for as the Bears get into, like, a slightly more of a passing setup. Turu, it's not quite his numbers last year, and yeah, I hate the fact that we had to eat that whole 40 seconds, but we got 3 timeouts in the pocket. I'm hoping that they just keep running the ball, and we go from there. But so, last year he was closer to 600 yards, if memory serves. Gracious alive, you gotta be kidding me. That's the kind of thing you can't give up. All right, so let's call a timeout here. We'll need the time coming back from it. Let's play 3-4. I think they're gonna just run the ball a lot. So until they show me they won't, we're gonna try to stop them here off of with Akeem Hicks and Eddie Goldman. But so the first preseason game, Audrey? Nope. This is is this the first game today? Yes. So, thank you. Sorry about that. I can't believe I misunderstood. Let's pinch buck. I like that. Let's get everybody up on the line. Try to shoot some gaps. Go from there. If they do some kind of a toss crack, good for them. If they pass the ball, good for them. But for now, we got to commit to stopping the run, and it looks like we did so successfully. So, I'll take it. We got a nice little flex from Iggy right there. That's right, Iggy. Let's see. So, talking about Desai, if Desai pops off that hard, yeah, I think he's going to get, or I don't know if he'd get poached, because then he'd have to be head coaching tier. I tend to think that if he does really well, he'll be the Bears defensive coordinator for a little while. Like, I wouldn't go too crazy about one thing or another. That's just what I would anticipate. Oh, man. I couldn't make a decision on the defense, but we get the sack! There we go. Khalil Mack with a big sack as the Bears are going to get the ball back with about 40 seconds left and a field goal to make. So let's see if we can't do it. Oh, man, Slim Jim, that's wild. It does feel like these things are starting to fly by, especially I've got to imagine with, like, COVID schooling that there's just an element of speed. And, yeah, vengeful. This is it. 55 seconds on the clock, 32, like, let's see. Yeah, and Derek, I completely agree. I know I'm all over the place today, but talking about how the league not liking defensive head coaches, I think that Desai would have to develop like a major reputation over time before he'd end up getting poached. So it's one of those that I shrug at, and I'm like, if he's great, like the Bears hope he will be, I think he's just going to get the chance to be great for a couple of seasons. Which, hey, that works out for everybody, right? Nice little 18-yard completion here. Let's see if we can't switch to double cross, run the play, move on. Cole Kmet headed for the sidelines. Take it, get out, bud. Nice. Clock stopped, 42 seconds. Audrey, you're a junior in college. First of all, congratulations. Tough to get there. Second of all, I mean, gosh, that's got to be so weird going to college, like, during COVID. I can't even imagine. I felt like college was weird enough without COVID. Slants have been too good against this Indianapolis team. I can't tell if I'm just abusing it or doing this. So I am going to call it again. And, oh, gosh. That is a disaster. So we're calling slants. I think we can just barely get out of bounds if the throw is there. And oh no. That's on me, fam. I did a bad job. I got way too pass happy with this, that, and the other. Bears take their first loss to the Colts. I blame myself. Everybody's angry at Matt Nagy. But hey, you got to take a loss so that you can challenge the team and come back. I don't blame her. It's not Fields' fault. It's obviously freaking Matt Nagy. So we go from there. That's one of the first, like, true losses I've eaten on Madden right here. Nice 8.3 yards per play. Big clap of thunder outside. I don't know if you guys can see, but, or I don't know if you guys can hear that, but, oh yeah. Matt Nagy, like, let's see. No, Derek, I wanted to, or, like, I wish that I could have thrown more. I feel like throwing more might have helped, but I hit the point where, let's see. Ooh, wait. No, we definitely want to make the decision on Justin Fields. So what are we looking at? Strong arm, improviser, field general, scrambler. I feel like we could work the improviser angle. He moves up to a 77. I'm good with that. Okay, nice little bit of throw on the run. We're all right with this. And then let's just have the other three upgrade, I guess, naturally.
Every week.
Let's
Use
see.
all of your points because a portion of the remaining points will be lost when you advance the week.
Nah, man. Well, if Montgomery's going to get mad about it, there's nothing I can do. Let's see. Coach wants to let me, or defensive coach wants to really let me know. But yeah. Let's see. Let's move to next week and get set for another game.
Points are earned
so,
every week. Use all of your
offensive coordinator wants to talk. Let's see, we got a Thursday. Okay, so let's emphasize preparation over rest. Try to get everybody ready for the Bucs here, and go from there. A little bit of a morale decrease, but we get some experience. I guess we'll take it. Let's see, Levante David. I feel like we can just move around him. No big deal. Let's see. What, Tony? Let's see. And here we go. So I continue to want to favor the quarterback, but I think we can do some quarterback and offensive line. Then we can get to the point where we are training other things. So let's play the season game. Moving on. And get going. So it looks like this is the big game, Bears versus Bucs. So we got to come away with this one. At this point, we are 2-1-1. So this would move us to 3-1-1 and keep the Bears in control of the NFC North. But we're gonna have to come away with it against Tom Brady. And yeah, man, imagine a woman football league. I mean, look. The last one that I remember, the last female football league I remember isn't even worth mentioning because it was the lingerie football league, and I always kind of looked at that and I was like, that hurts. That hurts my soul that this is the way women get a football league. Like, really? So I feel like it could be really fun to watch a women's football league. I honestly do. Not to mention, football is just fun. I'm never against more football. I like the AAF when it was around. The XFL was a lot of fun. The XFL had no business being as fun as it was. The fantasy football league, I can't remember what it was called. The fan-controlled football league was a mess. I mean, it didn't even feel like their jerseys were on straight sometimes. But, hey, you take what you can get. Oh, man, let me see. What is this? The women's rugby? I haven't watched any of that. Is that Olympic? But yeah, that's what I thought, Audrey. Like as soon as I heard that, when I remember people were talking about the LFL back in the day, I don't know. That was one that I heard about, and I was like, really? That's what we got to do? But hey, I'm just one opinion. At this point, I'm just a guy playing Madden right now. I am really excited for the rest of this season. It should be a lot of fun. I mean, either way, we've got drama. There's Nagy with a visor again. So he's working it. And Fields takes the field. Let's go get these points. Yeah, no kidding, Derek. The All Blacks are just so good. The New Zealand All Blacks, like, fun teams to watch play rugby, and yeah, now I'm feeling good. Audrey, you've got me in the right kind of mood right now. Nagy's got his visor back. We're running right at 2. We're running right at 2 impact players, and we've got room. David Montgomery is moving. There we go. Nice. That 11-yard run might have gotten more yardage than any run other than that Fields run and fumble from last game. So now we can work a little bit more out of the I formation. Nagy wasn't brought in to run the I formation, but for some reason they've given the Bears a hilariously extensive I formation end of the playbook. So nice little throwing lane created right there by a little bit of that Justin Fields movement. Darnell Mooney makes the big catch for 15 yards. Let's keep going. What do we got? A 97 Mike run? I like it. Let's see if that's Tevin Jenkins, 72, and 65, like Cody Whitehair can make some running room, and they do. I mean, enough. But so, let's see. Oh, I think women's volleyball is awesome. I grew up with a couple friends on the volleyball team, so volleyball has always been pretty near and dear to my heart. Men and women's volleyball is so fast and wild that I've just had a blast watching all of that on the Olympics, 100%. I hate watching the sack replays, so we're going to just keep moving. Let's see. We've got a PA move right here. I like it, because worst case scenario, or like there's a good chance we get Cole Kmet right here. Good catch, Cole. Way to come down with it. There we go. There we go, Cole Kmet. Let's get a nice little short pass here. I feel like we're starting to back the Bucs up a little bit. So I feel like a quick out, like an Omaha out to A-Rob's going to make a lot of sense. I don't like it. Just kidding. Justin, run. Run, Justin, run. And get out of bounds. There we go. Nice little 5 yards right there. I take that. We take that every single time. Now, here's a play that Justin Fields ran a lot in college. He ran a lot of mesh. Specifically, this edition of mesh. So we're going to look for the rail route. The rail route looks open to me. David Montgomery is going to catch that and move forward. Nice stuff. Derek, that would be awesome. Just an angrier Cole Kmet. Give him a slightly more aggressive-looking face. Go from there. Let's see. Okay, so we've got Allen Robinson on this dig. I love it when they give him a dig route because he's right there. We'll get through, get through. That kind of looked like a face mask. I'm not going to complain too much. Josh, are you saying my name, RPO, or you want to see an RPO? I think inside zone split's going to make a lot of sense, but let's get this through. You need timeout, or are we just bleeding too much time? Let's see. I love on the goal line running tight end drive. I think it makes all the sense in the world. Usually this gets, or like this single back formation gets the, oh, cool. We'll get an RPO in just a second. I love this because this always gets the defense geared up for goal line, and then you squeeze that tight end across, and they didn't take the bait for the first time in forever, and Justin's going to try to just make something happen. Let's see. This RPO can work. It depends on whether they take the bait on the corner out right there, and they did, so we hand it off, and Montgomery gets right in. Good call, Josh. Good call. That RPO totally worked. This one's always funny, too, because going back into the instant replay, like, every time I run this one, I have to read this guy right here, and it's always faster than I want it to be. Either he sits on his heels, but this one, he comes at it, and if I throw this to Robinson, it's like a pick six every time. So I'm glad that I'm glad that when Montgomery got the ball, Mustafa and Daniels had created a nice little hole here, because I wasn't looking at all. All I was staring at was this outside corner, but Montgomery ends up getting right into the end zone. Everything's fun. But yeah, Harrison, I can't agree with you more. Like, Montgomery's a tough, fun runner to use, but they obviously curtailed his speed, and in a video game, it feels like that's a huge deal. So, big Sam. But not unlike the original game. I mean, granted, the Bucs had to go up 2 touchdowns before the Bears actually scored any points, but the Bears are up 7-0 in a surprising Tampa Bay game or like Tampa Bay versus Chicago matchup. Now time to stop Brady. Fingers crossed, right? Let's see. Oh man, Jordan. There's so much of that like Madden hiccuping that I'm just trying so hard not to do. Cause like Case and I have talked about it. There are some things like I'm already getting too much into the habit of just going straight to the nickel package and blitzing, because nickel blitzes they work too well. Like you run a wide front like this, you flip to Mike blitz right here, or like a cover 3 blitz of some kind, and you're able to catch the quarterbacks like frozen just enough that it confuses the blocking pattern and gets somebody right through as if on cue. But so it's definitely one of those, it's not like real defense. Like I want to call Tampa too. I love some defense, but I'm also a big real football nerd. And I feel like that's the kind of thing that in Madden just gets me eaten alive, because here Tom Brady's going to come along, he's going to eat up the Tampa 2 zone underneath as if it just didn't matter. Derek, I like that attitude. Oh, Bears defense, you're killing me. Robert Quinn with a face mask. We're dying out here. All right, so let's see. Let's run another blitz. Why not? We gotta, like Derek said, we gotta put some hits on Brady. If he remembers what down it is, we're gonna be in trouble. So we gotta get him out of that. Nice play. Ooh, was that? I mean, it obviously wasn't Amos, but it was somebody wearing 38. I have not caught who that was. So let's get a Tampa 2 in. Quick 2nd and 10, Tampa 2. Call back to Lovey, who recently won an award in PFF for one of the best coaches of the 2000s, which made me giggle. Because don't we all remember those days? The Lovie Smith days for Chicago Bears? Like, it's still wild to think Lovie was fired when he was on that 10-6 season. I feel like at the time I thought it made sense, but obviously anybody compared to Trestman is, well, they're going to probably win that comparison. So, you know, hooray. All right, big down here. You get the yard. Killing me. So you're going to give Tom Brady the yardage on that, but you're going to take it away from me with Cole Kmet against Indianapolis. I see how it is, Madden. You want me to work for it? I'll work for it. Love or Lovey, Case? Big Jordan Love fan over here? Let's see. Calling cover 3 obviously didn't work. I want it to work. It's not working. So let's go dime. And I like this 4-man rush Tampa 2 variant, but I feel like it's not going to work. Yeah, it's a perfect simulation is what it is. Come on, Mac. Matt gets a nice hit on Brady. Thank goodness that it didn't get called. Let's run. I like it. Okay, cover 2 sink. Let's see. I gotta have Mac dominate Tristan Wirfs, or else it's not like the real game. Oh, thank you for running backwards. Yes! Big accidental sack. I love it when that happens in real life too, because it'll happen occasionally. When somebody catches the ball with like a 2-yard gain and they run 5 yards backwards, it's great. It shouldn't be as funny as it is, but it is. It's pretty great. Let's see. Was he really the only one? Let's see. Oh, there we go. 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 Khalil Mack with his 5th sack on the season. He's actually getting outperformed by Robert Quinn in this edition right here. But Mack takes advantage there, knocks Brady way out of field goal. I mean, if they can make it from here, they're the only ones. Like, the Giants tried so hard to make one field goal in a game a little while ago. So can he put it through? He did. Good for him. The Giants kicker couldn't even get close. Good job, Ryan Suckup. You did the unthinkable. We take that, though. We take that 100%. 3-7, 2:30 on the clock. We can get there. Daz Newsome, superstar returner. Let's see if I can. Oh, a little bit of a spin move. Are they going to hit me with a block in the back penalty? I'll ask you guys, would it be a Nagy team? Yep, look at that. Would it be a Nagy team if it wasn't surprisingly heavy in penalties? Because so far, it's not looking like it. All right, so here we go. Again, Jake Butt, we'll miss you. Khalil Mack, one-on-one against the linebacker. Makes the catch. Big season for him. I hope. It would be awesome. Like, I remember I was on a podcast just the other day. I don't know how many of you guys listen to my many different podcast spots that I do. But I was on a podcast with Danny Meehan over, like, on Rule of 3. We talked about players that could make what I called the impossible jump. Like, do you guys remember how Nick Kwiatkowski really struggled in coverage? Nick Kwiatkowski really struggled in coverage leading up to the 2019 season. Suddenly he got a little bit of playtime, and have a good one, Audrey. But Nick Kwiatkowski struggled in coverage, then suddenly got some playing time and could cover. Yeah, rule of 2, Derek. Exactly. But so he suddenly was starting to play really well. In that same way, I wanted to take a shot at who could make a jump that's harder to see visually, and I keep finding myself thinking that, Cole Kmet could be that guy. He did not have a full off season last year. What is it? You've got tight ends generally take a long time to cook. Like they take some time and some extra time in the oven to fully become who they are in the NFL. So I keep thinking Cole Kmet's going to be able to move from a guy who couldn't get much separation last year to a slightly savvier tight end running all kinds of routes. We'll see if it actually happens or whether it's just me being a fan. But I've got higher hopes for Kmet than it seems like some of Bears Twitter does. And I'm trying to still be fair, because then there's this other sect of Bears Twitter that thinks that Cole Kmet's going to be an all-pro. And I feel like that might be a little bit rich, but even just taking a nice step forward is a good thing for him. So let's see here. I'm going to try to get Robinson on this quick out. Oh, wide receiver couldn't hold a block. That's fine. That's fine. 3rd and 7. We can do this. Let's see. Yeah, Case, right? You got to hope it's Duke Shelley or someone, because the Bears do not have a lot of options in that front. Let's see. Okay, so we're trying to get 10 yards. You know, part of me likes the idea of working out of the gun, but at the same time, I feel like it's not going to help us. Let's go single back under center. I like a lot of the different things that you can do there. Spacing might work. I don't mind it, but I always want to change Goodwin's spacing curl to a spacing slant. So let's do that real fast. Create a little bit of crosser action, and it's a touchdown. We like it. We like it a lot. I like the way Duke plays and hits. I see what you mean, Case. Like, just reading that off, Duke Shelley is a fiery kind of guy. He's running full sprint whenever he's running. He's hitting as hard as he can. I still remember, like, he's one of those guys that I think has a role on the Bears, even if it's just special teams. Like, he really tries. But like you're saying, his actual cover skill, I think, left a lot to be desired, even in the preseason. He's the kind of guy that I wanted to get more excited about. Kind of like Thomas Graham, honestly. Right now I'm riding a Thomas Graham high because I don't have any bad tape of him. But I keep hearing from people that I've heard of that are at camp that Graham is struggling a little bit. So maybe he gets used to it. Maybe he's there and ready to go by like game time, obviously, in nickel zones and so on and so forth. Or maybe it takes him a little while because, you know, sue him. He's a rookie in the NFL, but also he's a 6th rounder. So if nothing happens there, I guess I won't cry over it. And right now, by the way, we're putting the hurt on the Buccaneers, and I, for one, am here for it. Justin Fields has another 2 touchdowns. We take these every single time. David Montgomery is slowly, like, probably continuing to diminish his faith in me, but we work from there. Let's see. Kick returner duties. I can't agree with you more about Khalil Herbert cracking the 53. Like, not only do I think he's going to crack the 53 as a kick returner, but I also think Herbert's going to have a bigger impact in the running game than people think. I think Herbert's going to beat out Artavis Pierce if he's the kind of guy who I think he is, and I don't necessarily think he's going to rip reps away from Damian Harris immediately, but especially if Cohen's hurt, they've got to have somebody run out of that role, and I feel like it makes more sense for it to be Herbert than it does for Damian Williams, but you never know. Damian Williams seems more like a Hummer running back, is what I've called him. Like, they take a little while to get going. Like, they, hum their way up like an engine, or like a diesel engine. But once he gets moving, he can do just about anything that an NFL, like, running back needs to do. And so definitely a good addition for the offseason as we close this out. And have I received the ball to start out almost the entire season? I like playing defense first, but we go from there. Yeah, okay, so we're kicking off to start the second half, so we'll resume on defense. The entire D-line unit being healthy, it'd be nice. Or as the impossible jump, it would be great. Thankfully, the Bears have always been pretty smart about signing depth at defensive line. So guys like Angelo Blackson, guys like Bilal Nichols, guys like there's another one on the defensive line whose name I can't remember. Like, they're good enough players. Depth at D-line is important. You need every guy. And the Bears have been learning that every time they lose Goldman or Hicks. Obviously, I'd love more stars, too. Just like, DeForest Buckner, and there's another guy, I think Quinn Williams might be his name, that they can deal. But let's see. I may. Let's see. Oh, man. Kyrus Tonga. Yeah, he'd be a fun one, Jordan, to like see pop off. He's one of those guys that he seems a little small for somebody at his position, so I don't necessarily know if he's going to slot into playing nose tackle immediately, but who knows. We'll obviously see how it goes and we'll see what happens and judge from there. By the way, I want to shout out myself because Case talked about a little while ago. She said this last time that if you can hold an AI quarterback to less than 80% passing, you're doing well. Tom Brady at 12 for 16 is less than 80%. What can I say? Defensive god over here. So we're gonna throw another blitz at Brady, see if we can't create another incompletion and just really step on his throat. Oh man. Yeah, no way we'd blitz here. And they ran it. Sad. We're sad here. Alrighty, I don't love this nickel triple. I feel like the wide formation's done really well for us. We can blitz out of it with a Derek, that is great. I just saw that, and that completely caught me off guard. I love it. I would love to see Matt Nagy take the impossible jump. Yeah, Roquan getting snubbed this could spice up some. Let's have this discussion. You know what? Let's have this discussion. Roquan getting snubbed from the All-Pro didn't surprise me, if only because I feel like All-Pro and Pro Bowl, as much as it sucks, let's see, as much as it sucks to see a guy get snubbed, they have to have statistics. If Roquan catches that Saints pick, I think if you follow me on Twitter, you've seen me talk about it. But that late pick against the Saints, they could have been a pick six. If he catches that, he's an All-Pro. I mean, it sounds so silly, because why should one play make that much of a difference? But it feels like it does. You have to have that All-Pro moment when you're going to get elected to that sort of thing. Just like how Eddie Jackson got elected to the All-Pro lists and Pro Bowl list when he was catching a bunch of interceptions, and when he's just playing quality coverage, but the interceptions get taken away by a penalty, then he's not on the list anymore. I don't think it's necessarily that they're getting snubbed so much as other people are performing, and a lot of beat writers can't really tell the difference. So, while it's great that the Bears have great players, that's what counts for us. It's the trouble comes from guys like Levante David that are just eating up stats and playing great defense while they're at it, as well as Devin White isn't that good a linebacker, but he was all over the field for a whole bunch of Bucs plays, and a lot of guys just gave him credit for that. I'm with you, Case. Roquan's the biggest bummer to me. But I also looked at all the linebackers ahead of him, and I was like, I get it. I don't agree with the argument, but I get the argument because those are very, very good players. So my hope is that Roquan can make those lists this year, because I think he'll be pretty undeniable. Especially if Sean Desai does what we hope he does. I think Roquan Smith is going to be all over the field as Goodwin here. Come on. Oh, so close. Fields adding tons of yardage. But so nice little 51-yard run after catch. I love trying to throw slip screens right here on the goal line. It's so silly. Oh, I do not like that roll though. So let's see if we can't flip the play. Because I don't know if you guys saw it, but that safety rotated over. I think he's going to be blitzing and that they're going to sit in some kind of a cover 1, cover 3. And this gets him right into the end zone. They never saw it coming. Easy. Yeah, I'm with you, by the way, Wormfood. I don't think Goodwin actually gets caught in that setting. I think he goes all the way. The safety stops running. Going back to Bojack, though, it's definitely a player that I'm very excited for. As the Bears switch into more of a Tampa 2 setup, I think that I think that Bojack in particular, he just switched his number to 4. He's all in on a mental shift. I think he's going to be locked in because he's one of the most anticipatory players in football. He's not an athletic super beast. I mean, he's not. He's a heady player that is best used in situations where he can suss out the quarterback's pattern and beat him to it. Think more Ed Reed in that case, but in the body of a safety. So he's the kind of guy that I'm looking at here in this new defensive setup, where if Tashawn Gibson can hold up his end of the bargain, let's go beat Tristan Wirfs again. I think that Bojack will have a very big season. And then if Bojack does, that just feeds more players into Roquan Smith, who obviously can counter from there. So, go Bears. I hope everything goes according to plan. But Sean Desai, I know he's got the turnover bucket is what I hear from camp, that there's a bucket that if the Bears collect a turnover, they run over, they dunk it in the bucket. They're definitely trying for more takeaways, and they definitely didn't get any in the Pagano era. So I'm hoping that this shift back to a Fangio-style cover 2 can help them, or can help everybody get what they want to, and that works out for the Bears defense. Let's see, we've got Hicks on the quarterback contain. Oh, I was really hoping that wouldn't happen. Oh, well. All right, so the Bucs need at least 2 drives here, so I'm feeling all right. Let's see. Tom Brady is absolutely killing us on cover 2 scenarios, but I guess I'll call this one anyways. Let's see if Hicks can run over his guy. I'm going to run a bull rush with him. Oh, there he goes. Fight through it. I'll take it. What is that, 1 yard? Maybe? Nope. Loses 2. We take those. All right, so let's go wide front here and back everybody off the line. Can't go too wrong with Tampa 2, especially just given how obviously historic it is across the Bears nation. Oh, yes! Tashawn Gibson eats the big hit and comes down with it. Yeah. Let's see. Right. No, Case, that's what yes. It's always hard because I call a safety unathletic, and he could beat me in about 1 billion races. Like, there's no chance that I'm ever going to, like, suggest that, Eddie Jackson is unathletic. He's just not. I think Jamal Adams is another good example. Adams is insane. Yeah, put that right in the bucket, Derek. I forgot. But so, Eddie Jackson's a fast player, but where he really makes his money, literally, is he makes it off of those anticipatory turnovers where he recognizes, as the quarterback recognizes, where the open man is and beats them to the spot. Think the Giants game last year on that ball where he bumped into the intended receiver on his way to the end zone. Think the Tampa Bay game where he ran straight over Ryan Fitzpatrick's man and ended up coming away with a huge turnover in that game. Oh my gosh, Cole Kmet. Can you go forward? Can you? Nobody talk about that. Man, that was a lot of yards. Let's see, 2nd and 6. That's weird because I could have sworn it like set things to a 3rd down, but whatever. Jake Butt, run a streak. Draw the defense back. Get him. Yeah. I love watching Eddie Jackson in general, Case. Run game, pass game, I feel like he's one of the headier players in football, and I've said that a couple times now, but he's just fun to watch. The trouble is that obviously if he doesn't get the numbers, and especially when he drops a pick against the Packers, it turns everybody into not his biggest fan pretty quick, and he's the kind of player that, look, safeties are weird, because nobody's going to look at a coverage grade, and nobody can see what the safety does on the broadcast. So while it's obvious when it's Roquan Smith, when a safety's in position, a lot of times they've just shuffled into the right place and denied an outlet altogether. Nice run, by the way, by Fields. I do think he'll do that quite a bit. Like, when plays break down, let's actually talk about this. This is worth mentioning, because I see this all the time on Fields' film. Fields knows he runs a 4-4, and in settings where everything's covered, but he recognizes man coverage just like I did. I don't know why we're on Mustafer. But so I see right here that Levante David is shading Cole Kmet, and that means that I knew I had a running lane right up the sideline if I took off then, because David's going to get carried like by Kmet's running route, just peeling out of the area. Fields' 4-4 is really nice. He's not a, like agile guy. He's not Kyler Murray. He's not Tariq Cohen that's just going to foot fire straight past somebody. But you let Fields run straight forward, and yeah, he's one of the fastest players in the league. Very broad terms. Definitely top percentile for a quarterback, though. So I do think he'll be able to turn nice little 10, 15-yard gains. Like, if you liked Mitch running, you'll love Fields running because he's basically better at it. The way that I see it, just to give you guys a very quick overview, just drop my controller because I am good at what I do. If you guys wanted a quick overview, and I think, Case, you kind of talked about this, ironically, I do think that the bright side about Fields is that the worst case scenario, based on what his film looks like, he is a faster, bigger and more accurate quarterback that could run Trubisky's offense a little better than Mitch did. Now, obviously, we all hope he grows past that. Obviously, we all hope he's a little better than just Mitch Trubisky plus. But I will tell you that from what I see on his film, the tools are there to do everything Mitch did, but stronger. And that's something that I legitimately think is worth being excited about because it means it's an upgrade. And then it's just a matter of whether he can take the thoughtful part of his game that's totally present and level up with it a little bit too, to find more guys like Y cross, or like guys coming across the middle on Y cross, backside parts of route coverages, things that he was starting to learn to do at Ohio State before the season obviously ended. He got a slightly shorter season though, as we saw against the Clemson and even the Bama game. He was getting better at that part of football all throughout the year, especially when he had to play difficult defenses, because playing Rutgers doesn't teach you much. It lets you show off really sexy offensive tools, but in terms of mental game, Rutgers runs like a standard cover 2, so Fields can just almost turn his brain off, throw where he needs to throw, and go from there. Come on, Jake Butt, let's get some yardage. 4 yards. We're going to run no huddle. We're going to flip the play. I like the idea of almost none of these. So that's bad. And let's see if we can hot route Cole Kmet into a block and release cross. Oh, wait, it's a warning. That's fine. Let's see. So 3rd and 7, I think. 3rd and 6. I always like lining up in the single back on 3rd and 6 because I feel like it threatens run a little bit more. I know I'm a big shotgun nerd too, but single back always makes me feel as if I can draw a defense into a into a goal line set. So at this point we've got Kmet and Butt, but I'm worried about Kmet's depth. So let's see if we can't. Nah, none of those are there. So we're going to be looking at Robinson here and Cole Kmet. And neither of them are really there. So let's run. Now Robinson's open. Touchdown. There we go. That's Fieldsy. That's very Fieldsy. We're just waiting. Find his guy. I like that. I hope that we can get some of that during the season, but certainly I will take it every single time in Madden. Thank you, Allen Robinson, for shaking your way open. But yeah, Case, I completely hear what you mean. Let's see. Oh, let's talk about this. So, what are you seeing? Please tell me that I didn't. Please tell me that I didn't just flat out. Oh no! Did I miss the touchdown? Let's see. I gotta see this. So, it's got to be the play that just happened. This one right here. Which tight end? Are we talking about Kmet or are we talking about Jake Butt? So, like him right there. I didn't think he was quite as open. Let's see. Let's get to the wide view, because I don't think it was the backside of the play. Am I still missing it? Or do you mean Jake Butt? Because I guess as soon as the whole defense cascaded away, yeah, you're right. Now he's wide open. Like, now that is right there. Because Cole Kmet's got a billion people around him. But as everybody just folded over, I saw Robinson and I was like, the floodgates have opened. But so at this point, yeah, you're right. There's Jake Butt and there's a running lane. Like, I had 3 ways to score this touchdown. I guess I'm just glad we did something that worked. Jordan, that Bray video is one of my favorite videos that I've just about ever seen. Maybe I make an advertisement for Nick Foles. That could be funny. Like I've got a used quarterback. I actually like this. I may look into this. Like if I could do a used car commercial for Nick Foles. This is a little banged up, but you know, it's still got slaps the roof, a little bit of juice in it. Come on down to Hallis Hall dealership now to pick up your quarterback number 3. We're giving them away. We're giving them away. We're giving them away. It's all a matter of editing at that point. Because I don't know. I like the comedy stuff. I think it's fun to just try to make people laugh, especially when we've got some sort of an inside joke. Nice little booth review in a 17-point game. Let's see if it comes back. Yeah. No, Jordan, That worked. That's a good idea. I like this train of thought. I may work on that later this evening as I watch more Fields film, because the goal is that I've told myself, so I want to see if I can't get like my Fields film all watched and organized, because I've watched it all, but I want to watch it again. So I want to see if I can get all that done by Monday night, because I'm trying to get better at scheduling. I've talked to you guys about this, but I also have, let's just say that I've learned a lot about time management in the last couple of weeks specifically. So I'm seeing if I can't get my film watched by Monday night, and then my script written by Wednesday night, so that we've got a Fields breakdown, I mean, within a couple days of that. So we'll see. I'm hopeful, hopefully just as much as you guys are, because what would I be without you? But yeah, I'm with you, Derek. Exactly like that. Like, faint praise, talking about big plays all up and down the field, so on and so forth. Like, there's a lot we could do with this, as the Bears so far are cruising to their third win of the season, where the defense is, you know what? We've done a decent job of holding Tom Brady to not so much. David Montgomery is going to continue to be unhappy. No, that can't count. Come on. There we go. Let's see. I wonder what happens if we take basically all the defensive backs we can and just stuff them into the end zone. So let's see if anybody can complete anything in here. We got the gun. We got Khalil Mack. We got everything we need. Get in there, Mack. Oh. We put 7 defensive backs in the end zone and nobody jumps at that one. Thank you, Madden. Thank you. Now we're just going to have to try to score with 17 seconds. It's the only option. It's the only option.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got a touchdown.
Okay, I'm going to ask what could be an obvious question, but I want to ask it anyways, Chad. What are you most excited about for the season in this upcoming year? Is it Justin Fields? Is it something else? Like, what do you want to see if there was one thing? Give it to me. What's your favorite? Like, when you go to sleep at night thinking, God dang, I just want to see this out of the Bears this year. What is it? Because I'm curious. Bet you we're going to get connect over the middle here. I think we didn't. Man almost caught that one hand. That would have been wild. Did we run one in? I think we did. You're right. Man, worm food. That right there. The offense actually getting to stay on the field here and there, that would just be nothing short of a miracle, wouldn't it? David Montgomery, that's fun. Oh, yeah. You got to hope so. Let's see. 3 seconds. 3rd and 27. Come on, Goodwin. You can do better than that. You can do better than that. Big tackle, Justin. Whatever. Man, I shouldn't have thrown that. Or, nah. The look was open. The blitz was there. It didn't matter. Madden. I wanted that extra touchdown badly. Let's see. I do feel like, unfortunately, Case, Tom Brady could probably, you know what, not at like 43. Like, I did not throw it into, did I throw it into triple? Yeah, no, while getting hit, 100%. I would have hoped that he could have knocked it down, but Madden definitely sometimes just decides. And you know what? I work with this. Like, you're right, Case. That's fine. You're right. I don't need to see the highlights. I'm just going to own it, okay? Let's see. Who do we got here that we can grow? Jalen Johnson getting a little bit better. We love that in the man-to-man perspective. That fits what he wants to be anyways. So, moving up to 79. Okay. No, you're right. I thought that there was an aspect of one-on-one-ism out there. Okay, Cole. Get better at everything. Why don't you? We got some more downs coming up for this. Yeah. I'm hoping for a passing game. I would love to see like a passing game that really works. Yeah. Oh shoot, we got 500 XP for all quarterbacks. Big fan of that. Let's move on and hope that Justin Fields gets a little bit better. But so
scouting points are earned every week. Use all of your points because a portion of the remaining points will be lost when you advance.
What do we got here? of course, there's Christian McCaffrey. We're going to disregard him again. That's the thing. Like, so Case, all I was looking at was that it was technically a one-on-one downfield, but even so, I was getting hit. Like, there's no reason to throw that. Truth be told, that's why you take a knee in that setting. Blah, blah, blah. Boring. Everyone knows it. But you know what? I could do better. Like, that's definitely something that I would take if Fields did it. But what? Or, you know, no big deal. We move on. Pro Bowl is mostly just votes. How did we get to Pro Bowl? Oh man. Yeah. Oh yeah. For Jenkins, that makes sense. I would love to see Tevin Jenkins just develop into a solid player. Like, I'm with you, Case. I think the Pro Bowl is kind of a crappy stat line sometimes, that you can end up with guys like Charles Tillman that were incredible for pretty much their entire career, and in coverage and in creating turnovers, but they just didn't get voted to the Pro Bowl because other people didn't see it. People didn't get it. Like, I don't know what the excuse is, and I don't know if I really care. I just disagree. So you end up with, like, popular players get to the Pro Bowl. Guys like DeAndre Hall to collect 4 interceptions in one game against Jay Cutler that none of us have to relive. Promise me, you don't want to, but you get the idea. It's like, the Pro Bowl is definitely not something that I love as a voter or as a stat mechanic. Like, he made this many Pro Bowls, but it's almost like a reality of the league at this point. So let's see here. I would love to see a good running game. Honestly, more importantly, I think I want to just see good quarterback play, whether it's Dalton or Fields. Obviously, we all hope it's Fields, but at this point, if Fields was through 5 games and already had 14 touchdowns, I think all of us would just be juiced. Let's see, we're 3-1-1, which is almost realistic for, like, a great Fields season. It's hilarious how much that actually sounds like a proper record, especially against Tevin Jenkins. What are you doing, man? Well, we got a nice running lane here. Okay, so you got to press square, like, early. But we'll take it. 20 yards off the slide. What's the cover ball button, squad? Do y'all know it? Because I don't. Let's see if we can get a seam throw right here. Thank you, Jake Butt. Who we missed. He's going to draw some coverage for us. Oh, no. Oh, I hit throw away. Sorry, squad. Let's see, which one's the penalty? Let's get this. Let's see if we can run tight end attack. I love this play in Madden Ultimate Team, but I don't know if it's going to work with Jake Butt and Cole Kmet. Hope so. Oh, Cole got it. Nice play against the linebacker for 20 yards. It's almost cheating because the linebackers can't keep up. But Cole Kmet's got that. It's the eye black. Eye black was magic. We learned that in lacrosse growing up. Like, the more eye black you put on, the better you were. So I should have put more on as a kid. I thought I put on enough, but clearly not quite enough. Oh yeah, Kusai, 100%. They'll give me the face mask though. They won't give it to Madden players because they're clean. It's like Packers, playing the Packers every game. We're doing a lot of the single back. I feel like a big single back nerd all of a sudden because I've practiced this too much. Got a nice little go away, Rob. Good enough. Fields is starting to deliver. Oh, 5,000 career receiving yards. Congratulations, Allen. Let's get power up. Okay, Horsted, get moving. Let's see. Yeah, seriously, that's Case. One thing I heard about, so talking about Madden, I know that there's the big movement in Madden is just moving safeties to linebacker, which I was like, what? Why? And it's just speed and jumping. Because I've also heard that for some reason linebackers jumping is toned down, but safeties can just pop up and go grab something. Does that ring a bell? Because I've heard about this and I don't have the guts to do it. Because why would I move to Sean Gibson to linebacker, even though I've been one of the ones who was... Oh, shots. I think I just got Montgomery's head taken off. Let's get... Can't remember what it's in, but there is a... there's a couple sweeps in the Bears package. Okay, we got I formation, we got goal line normal. Let's go I form. I think it feints it well. So this is all going to be on Kmet and Horsted. Do you guys believe in Kmet Horsted? Put it in right now. Put it in. Command and Horse said, you think they can do it? Let's see if they can. Oh, we got a nice little block there. One-on-one with the linebacker. No! Not quite. I'm really trying, David. I'm really trying for you. They did not do it. Let's see if we can't slip it in. Let's go gun. Let's get something. I like the RPO right here. This should work. We're watching Mooney's man and the linebacker for whether they're going to go after Kmet. Kmet's open. Get in the end zone, bud. There we go. Hail Mary in the end zone. Should have done it. What was I thinking? What was I thinking? Not using a Hail Mary in the end zone. But that nice little RPO, that worked out fine. Kusai, I kind of thought the same thing. Like, Montgomery had a chance to line up that tackle. I feel like he might squirrel away. That's like what he does, Montgomery. But you know what? Instead, maybe it's because he's sad and mad. Like, maybe it's purely because like Montgomery's currently mad at Matt Nagy, but at least he's putting points on the board. So there you go. Worm food, I love that. That would be awesome. That's like David Bakhtiari tier stuff. That'd be Attitude Era level, like WWE kind of thing. All right, so I would sim the defense at this point, if not for the fact that, holy smokes, they just get scored on all the time. So we're going to do it for them. We're going to let them score on us. Not really. Okay, Christian McCaffrey had 16 touches for 98 yards and a score last game. We're going to hopefully not do that. Yes, join the Discord. Also, for those of you who do or don't follow me on Twitter, I am legitimately thinking about starting a book club for... Let me go get the book that I've been reading recently.
Second quarter now from Charlotte, and it's the Panthers with the football as they're looking at a second down and 9 to go.
Now I'm reading this one right here. It is called What is Open? And it answers exactly what you think it would be. Like, What is Open by Dub Maddox. That's the first book that I would be suggesting, because as I read through different playbooks and other different, like, football related material, I just find myself thinking there's so much material written for coaches out there that is really, really handy to people just like us as we try to understand the game of football a little bit better. So I look at it, and I think it'd be really fun to go through it, and then we can talk about it afterwards. What did we learn? What did we take away? Like, that sort of thing. You get the idea. Like your standard, like, mom and pop book club, but about football. So if that sounds fun to you, let me know, whether it's in the comments here or DMing me on Twitter so that I know who does and doesn't want to be in. If you think it sounds boring, then that's okay. I'll keep my reading to myself and just leverage it when it becomes entertaining worthy. But either way, it's been really interesting to me because I want to learn more about Derek, exactly. Like, it's one of those things that I look at, and I'm always interested in trying to learn a little bit more about football and relay it as best I can. And these sorts of books have definitely helped me a lot.
A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke.
All right, so far the defense is actually kind of holding Christian McCaffrey a little bit. I turned my brain off and just called a whole bunch of coverage concepts. So let's get a corner blitz going right here to see if we can go get some darn coin. We are invested.
Throwing here on third down, Darnold.
Oh, wide open, man. That was not a good blitz. Akusai, if you don't have a snack spread, what kind of book club is it? Right? It's all about snacks. Not to be confused with Snacks Harrison, who I literally can't remember if he's in the league at this point. Come on, Quinn. Oh. Went for the low hit, did not get the low hit. Sam Darnold, 5 for 5, absolutely unstoppable. Let's see. Now we got to take it a little bit personally. Now we got to find a way. So let's see if we can't get a little bit of press action going on. Ooh, I feel like Robert Quinn is just on the right end of this rush. Good thing they're running the ball. Love that. Thank you to Sean Gibson. So let's go. go back to the will. Like, yeah, let's go to this will setup. Let's get a cover one blitz sticking right on through. No, we can go to the goal line. I hate a lot of the goal line packages. Also, that makes a whole lot of sense, by the way, Case, that they basically just went, oh, outside linebackers were good in Madden 20? Nerf! But, you know, video game developers, am I right? Come on, boys. I think he got the first down. So that's a bummer. Let's see here. We've got as many defensive linemen as it'll allow me to have, and McCaffrey. Bummer. Should have played prevent there. Should have. But instead, we're going to go just get the points back with a minute 30. No big deal at all. Let's push straight down this field. I like that little wildcat yell. And Justin Fields walking up and down the sidelines. Oh, yeah. This is what we dream of. Is it because it just blitzes too fast? Tell me how Chris Tabor's punt block helps me here, Case. Madden friends, how does it work? Is it just overwhelms the puny brain of the Madden quarterback? Man, everybody plays cover 2 shells against me. It gets really sad. We gotta go with a slant route there to try to take advantage of what easily could be that, and Goodwin's off to the races. It's that easy, folks, with a little bit of spin action. No. Do you have to play as the when you do pump block safe man, do you have to play as the safe man? Like, is that who I'm supposed to use? By the way, we're looking at an RPO here, so let's take a look at that man right there in the middle. He should be our key, and he is. Robinson with a nice little slant route over the middle. We're going to run no huddle to try to take advantage of this. I love the jailbreak screen. It rarely works, but we're going to do it anyways. Throw it. Nagy screen. Yeah. There we go. I can't believe the jailbreak screen worked right there. Nagy runs a successful screen for maybe the 8th time this season, and Bears fans are just aghast. Who's replaced this man? Do they have an alien as their coach at this point? 3 plays, 75 yards. Justin Fields is a hero. All right, so let's see. Oh, that's what I'm saying at Kusai. Like, you can tell that there are breaks in the game because I'm running every screen and they're all working. Case, we're going to run exclusively punt block safe man on this next set of plays, so don't you worry. Let's see. Let's break men. Let's do it. This is where Chris Tabor steps over and he's like, Sean, I hear ya. Yeah, I know. But we're going to run it my way, okay? My unit's got this. So here we go. We got Robert Quinn playing this. No! All right, Chris Tabor's unit is still feeling good. That didn't change anything. Robert Quinn's out here in special teams because we apparently know what we're doing. Okay, so we got a nice little tackle there. Go, Quinn. Go. Oh, man. So the issue is that I'm playing 10-man defense right now, huh? I gotta switch to the return man. Oh, shoot, I missed it. Alright, so I see what you're saying now. I see it. Alright, so they're, I mean, I don't think they're going to take a timeout because, you know, why would they when they could just end the half? But we're going to try that this next drive because Chris Tabor's feeling pretty good. He feels like his unit didn't get a whole series, so he's going to take over here in very standard Bears. And we're gonna, Daz Newsome, you telling me Daz Newsome's going to become like an epic rusher, special teams hero, defensive legend, two-way player? I feel like we got a little two-way player action coming up here. So let's see. Chris Tabor breezes on through, sweet talks Matt Nagy, and he's like, Matt's like, yeah, okay, no, you do it, Chris, go for it. I am going to pass Daz Newsome every single time. I'm on my way. Big play, guys.
It's the former
So do I play coverage or do I just rush with him?
That is one he
Newsom's
will
on his
remember.
way.
Sack number 85 of
He's
his
gonna make it.
career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list.
I thought I might have a Palomalu kind of action there. Okay, coverage rush. That works.
Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. First and 10.
This is so goofy. Why does this work?
The shotgun snap for Darnold.
Big hit.
Middle and into the hands of his receiver.
Let's see. Yeah, Akusa, I don't think they did. The pump block safe man's really throwing the offense into chaos here. And every time they make it a little bit further downfield.
First down. Here's Darnold.
Let's see. Yeah. It did lock me last time. As soon as I got... Because I was trying to do a Palomalu rush where I just sprinted straight through. I do, as a matter of fact, Jordan. I watch as much as I can. Oh. Come on. I watch mostly, like, I watched a lot of the NBA playoffs this last year, besides football. I watch a lot of NHL, so hockey. God, love it. And so then, come on. I think I just threw it off sides. Trying to make a play with Daz. This is so goofy. I know. Why did Darnold do it? Darnold's doing me dirty out here. These are the kinds of Madden moments that you really just need to sink in. Is when Darnold's out here read optioning and it works. Hey, it's in the playbook, right? He even did it right. Gosh, not two-sport athlete, obviously. Like multi-tool player, five-tool player. That makes sense that it works best in the red zone because you guys basically don't have the room to get just truly beat. Also, we got Cohen out here. He's going to be dangerous. So dangerous. You can feel the danger. Chris Tabor, the defense is ready to go again. It's hilarious, though. Let's see. Tabor's unit allowed a 4-minute drive. You know, they got close. They didn't quite take anything away, but almost. This is Kusai. This is exactly why Cohen doesn't play safety. I think we can't know, but we think so. All right, so let's see if we can get Khalil Herbert some carries. Well, it's also 14-14, so we're going to do what scores, whatever that is. Most of the time it's dig routes. But, let's see here. Okay, so subs. Not that position, that position. Khalil Herbert, 58 overall. Easy. No, like easy yardage for sure. So, 58 overall, Khalil Herbert's going to trip over his untied shoelaces. But we're going to try to get him some yards anyways. Okay. Bears fans everywhere, super stoked. 58 overall, Khalil Herbert just picked up more yardage than maybe like Madden never expected him to. And we take these. So let's do it again. Nobody ever sees 2 slip screens coming in a row. So here comes the big blitz. And there's Herbert. And there he goes, more yards. Khalil Herbert on this drive, 30 yards all of a sudden. Pick him up in fantasy is what everybody's saying. So let's go to Dave Montgomery. You're demoted again. Now he's a 67. So that feels, I wouldn't exactly call it better, but better. All right, so I get what they're saying about like this, but I don't love the tight end matchup. Just inside the box. Yeah, exactly. Seriously, Derek, at this point, like, if that's 58 overall, like, just wait until he's any better than that. Let's get more stuff on the scene. Why not?
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike.
If it ain't broke, you don't fix it. Right, Akusai? Herbert getting more yardage. He's the only success story on this drive right now. So let's see if we can run Power-O. Try to catch some here. Herbert, the absolutely unstoppable machine in blue and orange, is stopped. And so let's see what we got. 42. Well, team, we got to go with the only thing that's been working, don't we? We got to go down to the gun. We got to go down. We got to run yet another slip screen, don't we? Let's see. Let's make sure before we do. No, we can't do the jailbreak screen, no matter how much I want to. Let's see. Slip screen. Primary's Khalil Herbert. It's the only thing that's working. CBP, how you doing? Let's do it. Let's convert a 4th down. Here comes the rush. Here comes the pass. Nothing they can do. Nothing they can do. It's unstoppable. Let's see. That would be fun. That could be fun. I think a group franchise could be great, especially when, like, I'm hopeful Madden eventually puts out a solid game. Like, we'll see what happens, obviously, but the Madden 22 franchise changes that everybody's swooning over, I'm not convinced they're going to be anything nuts yet, but I hope so, obviously. So, let's see here. Now we've got, like, an orbit sweep peek. This is the obvious play to Mooney that everybody hates, and we're going to do it. Because it wouldn't be Nagy if he didn't have this. Throw it. Come on, Mooney. Mooney's going to get it. Yes. Somebody said PA? All right. Well, I listened to my offensive coordinators. I didn't do it there. So we're going to run PA digs. Why not? Sure. Robinson's the primary anyways. He's wide open. A little bit of a dip underneath, and we got 2 yards. So let's see here. We got a better play calls than this. Yeah, orbit spot. This is what I was looking for. So I am fully expecting. I'm not expecting Goodwin to get open, but I'd love it. We got a little bit of that same orbit motion, and I definitely intended to throw to 88, whoever that is out there. We didn't do it, so that's all right. Let's see here. Khalil Herbert's exhausted, but do you guys think he's got another slip screen in him? Because I think he might. Let's see here. Doubles offset. He is tired, but you know what? Nobody's tired with the ball in their hands. They're not going to stop it. Everyone knows it. Get in the end zone. What is solidarity? I don't think I've ever seen solidarity. Okay. Look at that. There it is. First career touchdown. 4 slip screens on the drive. I think I would feel bad if I ran that play again against these poor Carolina Panthers that can't do it. At CBP, it's just a basic slip screen. I mean, for crying out loud. Yeah, Josh, Monty's got to be livid right now. He's like, Coach, you benched me? And I'm like, yeah, Monty, I benched you. What's you going to do about it? I love Monty, by the way. Not coming after it. This Madden is all we got. I want it to be better, too. Everybody wants it to be better. I mean, I think that's fair. Nobody's happy with the state of the game. It's just the closest thing we've got unless we're going to make rosters and blitz the league, which is awesome. By the way, I played so much Blitz the League 2 back in college. Like, it didn't come out right then, but I'd just gotten my hands on it. I must have played through the franchise mode 5 times at least, which, granted, probably rookie numbers compared to some of you guys out there. But do y'all remember Blitz the League? Does this ring any bells to anybody? Not the N64 game, not the rad, not the rad arcade case. Blitz the League, the one with that just went M-rated, that went crazy. Yeah, we're at about that point, CBP. Let's see here. Man coverage is not helping. Blitz the League was stupid. That was the best part. It was like Blitz the League was like playing NFL Street. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Because if you didn't say a good way, I was going to be a little bit disappointed. But, Derek, is it really? I just hearing, yeah, but it's basically just a spreadsheet. What's the gameplay like? Update the spreadsheet? Like, what do you do in FOF? Because front office stuff seems really fun. Like, especially when you start out with it. Oh, Christian McCaffrey killing me. Defense did not come to play today, but they, yeah, there's nothing there. I don't think I coordinated it either. Let me see. Like, oh, it's the same way? Out of the park baseball? I'd need to try her. Oh, okay. Like, what does spreadsheet gameplay look like? You guys got to give me the deets. I got to know. All right, so here's Daz making plays. All right, so who's the feature player on this drive? Everybody talk about it. Like, give me the feature player. We're gonna work somebody. Is it Justin Fields? Is it Khalil Herbert's had his moment in the sun? He's done. So is it Allen Robinson? Like, who's the hero here? By the way, we're looking at this. I almost feel like a smoke screen right here would work better, just in case it's cover 4. So let's see. He comes up. Allen Robinson is going to. Thank you, Justin. Bummer. Okay, that makes sense. Let's see. So we've got 1 vote for Allen Robinson. Now smash might work. They're calling so much cover 2. I feel like this is all we can do. Montgomery, you know, if it wasn't so late in the game, I would be totally fine featuring a running back. But it is so late in the dadgummit. That's 2 wide open smashes, Justin. You got to hit one of these at some point. All right, let's get a post over the middle. I know Justin can hit those. All rookies can. So unless they rotate something into coverage, if our offensive line can hold, we're going to be all right. And they do. There's the interception. Great. I hate this. All right, so I'm going to let him score. Have to. All right, we're going to come back for it. And this is now going to be Makusa, I don't want to feel it. Oh, that hurt. But so we are going to have to lead the comeback now after taking that hit. This is not what we want. Thank you so much, Case, by the way. Let's see. All right, so Football Manager. Oh, man. All I've heard is good things about that one. That's for sure. So we either roughing the kicker. Oh, man, I can't enforce that on the kickoff, so we're going to have to go from here. Man, missing those 2 throws really hurt us. 3rd and 10 scenario. Yeah, we don't want to field this yet. So, ooh, man. I don't even know why they were what they were. But so let's see. Single back. Let's go tight end attack. I like this play a lot, especially if they're trying to get down the field quickly because it just abuses Madden linebackers. So we've got Met running there. Oh, goodness. This is not going well, but we're going to call a timeout, and we're going to make better things happen. You got to just think good thoughts. Thank you. I need Father's blessing right here, as Allen Robinson's going to make his move down the field. Kmet's open, deliver the throw. Nice. Okay, there we go. Now we've netted 7 yards, so it's not what anybody wanted, but we go from here. So here comes Allen Robinson. It should, in case, but for some reason on my PC configuration, it's not working. Excuse me, Tevin Jenkins, picking that up. So let's call another timeout. 4th and 14. Let's see, hitch corners might work. I'm not 100% convinced, but this gives Fields the chance to potentially make up for the throw. Are you kidding me? Thank you, A-Rob. All right, so let's go. Z spot. That's not bad. Thank goodness we ditched that ball. That works. But so let's go. I like the slanty 4 verticals. A lot of times it can draw enough guys. So let's see if Kmet can get himself open on this. That's the idea. Instead, I'm just going to throw it to Goodwin and hope. Man, if he could have gotten that ball a little further downfield, that really would have worked out for us. 3rd and 10 instead. I'm feeling a little bit of pressure. I'm not even going to pretend. All right, so let's see. I want something more diggy across the field. So let's get Justin Fields is hurt. Nobody likes that. Or not hurt, but hurting. Let's do double cross to try to draw some underneath the linebackers. If Robinson gets open, great. If not, Goodwin should. We got to chunk out some yardage quickly. Goodwin's there. Takes the hit. I'll take a timeout from there. That works. 40 yards. Let's get moving, team. Carolina with the big interception turnaround. Let's get... I don't know why they would bite on play action, but they might. It's Madden. You never know. So, at this point, let's get a play fake. Ooh, nice little roll into cover 2 there. Means Goodwin is the read, and you're kidding me. Why is that throw so high? What a bummer. Let's see.
in zone coverage as a rookie QB.
Did he really say that? Oh, that hurts. Man, that's such a bummer. I even enabled the clutch feature on Goodwin right there. The cover 2 roll means that should have been right there. Yeah, no, I don't think Goodwin has the aggressive catchability either case. But now we're sitting at 3-2, and we'll have to go for one more. Game's absolutely over, and we got to move on to the next one. Fields finishes with 3 scores and a touchdown. Defense didn't stop the opposing team one time, and we ended up away from the game plan. What a bummer, because we couldn't live off of short throws all day. Got to get away from this one. Ugh, bad taste in the mouth. And the breakdown fiends are going to have fun with that one throughout the week. Man. That one stings, team. That one, I wish that could have gone better. But you know what? At least we're having a good time. So from here, we move on. Sam Darnold threw 94% completion percentage. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It was Chris Tabor stepping in. It was just too much. So let's see. Justin Fields picking up some developmental points. Let's move on with that. Hey, we could put him on the practice squad. You never. He could get better at that point. So 78 overall. When does he develop? Because I know he's got on that X Factor path. When does he develop an X Factor ability? When do I get one of those? Is that something that I get? Let's just move on. I don't need to hear from my coach. He's just gonna tell me, oh, Christian McCaffrey got us. Let's see. OC wants to talk about it. Jalen Ramsey will be a problem. So instead, we're just gonna move away and run the ball a lot. But so, let's see. Yeah, must have, Derek. That was hilarious. So we got to do Los Angeles Rams. Let's sim training and let's go straight into it. This one goes. Monday prime time. We got a Monday section. Here we go. Because I know I applied it, Case. Like, I gave him the little X Factor development thing. Maybe that's why he keeps popping up compared to some of, like, the stars and so on and so forth. But at this point, oh, my word. Okay, so it feels pretty good about Khalil Mack versus, I think that was Floyd. Always funny watching those pop up because you're like, whoa, that was a lot of numbers you threw at me pretty quick. There's good old Sean McVay. And backup running back David Montgomery, obviously. At this point, let's see. Let's have fun with it. All right, so who has a big day? Who do I try to make work at this point? Is it just win the game? So far, we're not doing too well. But we can make it, we can get this thing going here in the late part of the day as we try to pick up a little bit in the season. Oh, we're playing Stafford. Okay, here we go. So let's see. Dime. Stafford's on. Yeah, we're looking at this part of the roster. What did I say? I hope I didn't say anything problematic. Oh man, what did I say? Goodness gracious. We definitely didn't do anything particularly good in this day so far. We lost 2 games. And so with the Bears now 3-2-1 on the season, we need to move up to 4-2-1 as soon as we can to stay in the divisional race. Let's see. Well then, I don't know what you're thinking about, Case, but tap the old head. But so let's get this moving. We've got to. I like whoever said we've got to get Mooney on Jalen Ramsey and see if we can get him some touches there. Robert Woods gonna take that way too far. Jordan, that was hilarious. And I mean, that's Matt Stafford. He's gonna fire stuff in there. He's always going to be the guy that rifles the ball into the tight window, whether or not the tight window is there. So, hopefully the Bears and Eddie Jackson and whatnot can bait him into some things in that first game, because that would be pretty classic Stafford. And yes, for those of you wondering, I didn't switch to user Eddie Jackson, because Tyler Higbee was about to put me on skates if I did, and so I just had to let the computer make the play. All right, let's go cover 2 sync. We just got burned there specifically. So we're gonna drop Mac in coverage, and Bears fans they're gonna love that. That's for sure. Let's see. Nice play, Bilal Nichols. 3 rushes, 1 yard. Ground game doing great. Let's play couple more. A little bit of contain action. I like it. Let's see. So what I did CVP was that I went to Madden 21's like community files and I downloaded a roster that I knew had Justin Fields on it. I sorted by date, so I found something with like an update to July 25th, and which was the day that I started this. And they gave him like 75. So then I went in and I changed some things on Fields specifically because every time that they make a new rookie, they've got the normal developmental path, and there's no fun in that. So I gave him a much better developmental path than that. But outside of that, I just found it on a community roster. Let's go pinch 2 blitz. I like it a little bit. Let's see. Max seems like he's in the zone. So let's roast somebody off the edge here. Come on, Max. Oh! Go, Lucas. It's a race. Turnover. Finally, first defensive stop in a while. Like Audrey says, it's due to Matt Nagy's visor. So at this point, let's see. Let's go gun. Let's get Mooney on the field. Let's go slants. Is he against Ramsey? He is, by the looks of it. So where's Jalen Ramsey? CB5. I can't tell if that's him. Yep. All right, so Mooney just got his first reception off Ramsey. Bears Twitter talking. And let's not. 4 verticals isn't going to get us anything. Let's see. We gotta find some stuff for Mooney, but we specifically have to find it on the outside too. So let's see if we can get him a little bit of mountain spot here. Should be a nice little switch up. It goes to Goodwin if, nope, it's there. Moon gets it. Thank you, Justin Fields, for fitting the ball in. Let's go for Verts. I tend to doubt we're going to get much out of this, but, you know, a guy can try. We'll give him a curl route. Styled. No! Ramsey makes a big play. What a bummer. All right, so somebody said play action bomb. I think we can make that happen. So we've got a play action tight end seam. Looks like they rolled the defense. This may favor us here. So a play action. Cole Kmet's right there. It's not a bomb, but it's right down the middle. We take those. Let's go tight end drive. One of my favorite plays in Madden. Tight end coming across the middle. Get upfield. Come on. Jake Butt, we miss you. All right, so let's see. Can we get Mooney in the end zone against Jalen Ramsey? Maybe. You know, it's not giving me a ton of routes off of what Mooney can do over here. But, I mean, thankfully he's going to be good on slants because speed's all that matters in Madden. Gotcha, Jalen. Darnell Mooney with like his second touchdown of the game, for crying out loud. Oh, it wanted Colts Kmet with the receiving touchdown. That's a bummer. I forgot that Madden gives you like drive goals. I don't look at that at all. I should, shouldn't I? But how much do those matter for those of you guys who are guys and gals who are consistent franchisers? Like, are the drive goals helpful? Do they make your team better faster, like in a meaningful way, or are they just sort of something to think about? Let's see, here's E.A. Booney riding downfield. Yeah, no, you're 100% right, Akusa. I mean, look, it's one thing that is funny that I remember. Oh, Mac's still in the zone. That's good. Let's blow up the right tackle. Oh, excuse me. With a little bit of that action. That makes sense, Case. 100%. So let's go quarterback contain again, with Mac doing a little more than just containing. Man, Mac is feeling it right now. Oh no. Come on, Roquan. All right, so we're tearing things up a little bit. Yeah, Kusai, I feel like that. I feel like we're getting jobbed out here by Madden, but we take what we can get. We don't do save scumming, though. I spent my whole life save scumming, so this is a bit of a change, really. Desmond Trufant just got destroyed by Tyler Higbee, so that's something. All right, right, so max out of the zone. Nobody likes that. We got a nice standard cover 3 right here. See if we can't get back on track as they try to get their run game back on track. And it looks like both Madden and myself are struggling to both commit to the run and succeed on the ground. So there you go. I swear, we're holding just about everybody and anybody to under 100 yards rushing, usually under 50 yards rushing. But obviously stopping people is a little tougher than that. I feel like it's especially hard to run the ball in this Madden. Like, you guys tell me. I know that there was that Madden Championship where somebody did exactly the opposite of what I'm saying and just exclusively ran the ball with Tress Way, if memory serves. But, like, is running the ball easy all the time? Jesse, you use a custom roster. That's what I did to get Justin Fields, and that's what you should do too, as the Bears. So, which running plays? Like, how is running OP if I can't get it? It's because I'm using inside runs, isn't it? Like, that's the thing. You need a running back with speed. So you saying I could pop off with Cohen? Probably. Let's see. I went to community files, Jesse, just so you can hear exactly what I did. I sorted on rosters by date, so I got one of the newest ones, and then just did that. Let's see. So following what Case is talking about, we're going to go to David Montgomery. We're going to sub in Cohen right here. We're going to go Power O with Cohen. Oh, so they got to be like fast. Well, then this will obviously go nowhere, he says, and he's right. So this is what I get. Sometimes I feel like Matt Nagy feels like this, where as much as Bears fans want to run the ball, every time I feel like we try to run the ball, usually, like when we're not playing the Lions, the Jaguars, or the Texans, then all of a sudden it becomes apparent the Bears can't run the ball, and that's a second issue. Man, that was a nice little dust up. What? 96 is like average speed? Are you kidding? That wasn't up there. Oh, Akusa, he got hit as he took the handoff, but now I'm just being an apologist. Thanks, Matt Nagy. Come on. Man, if 92 speed is slow in Madden, then I feel like most of the Bears are really slow, huh? Go, Goodwin, go. Man, that slant to Goodwin is so money, it hurts. Let's go PA verts. Here's the PA. There's the not the route I expected you to run commit, but I'll take it. Joseph Day just got owned. Let's see. Really? Holy smokes. All right, we got play action tight end seam here. You know what? Jake Butt might just get himself open here. Let's see. And he is, and I'm getting sacked. Not what anybody wanted. Let's see, 2nd and 19. You know what? Back in my town, we call that fair. 19 yards to get a first down. What can I say? My goodness, what is going on? Who is destroying me? Why is Leonard Floyd devastating me over here? What is happening? Oh my gosh! Is he getting blocked at all? No, he isn't. Dadgummit, Brandon Staley, even in a video game, you haunt my dreams. All right, so let's get to the gun. Obviously, our answer here is Darnell Mooney beating Jalen Ramsey for like somehow 27 yards. So let's see if we can make that happen somehow. Quick little slant route. It's Allen Robinson. But either way, he got us to the 27. Yeah, Leonard Floyd is really feeling the revenge, that's for sure. All right, so what do we got? 44-yard field goal. I don't trust Madden at all. Like, I will live and die at this point off of the fact that there's absolutely no reason that I should trust Madden on this. Mesh would be great if we didn't desperately need 10 yards specifically. It's not fair to cheese the dadgum, like, dig route. So instead, we're going to cheese the screen. Let's do it. It's the Bears' strongest play this season, I swear. We get the slip screen out. I mean, for crying out loud, the end zone's in play at this point. But we'll go out of bounds there. First down. This slip screen is absolutely destroying worlds at this point. Let's throw a double cross in there. I like putting Cohen and Kmet on the crosser over the middle. So we've got what looks like Cohen winning his route, and I don't like either of them. So Fields is going to go. And Fields is in the end zone. I didn't expect that. That worked out. Yeah! Woohoo! Yeah! There it is, folks. I did not. Fields was just sitting there looking through it, just like, you know what? I guess I take this. And Bears fans everywhere are like, oh no, this is going really well. Like, and then Fields obviously he takes some cues from Tim Tebow. Let's watch this replay because it's fun. So here, let's pull way out. We're looking at the all-22 end zone view right here. So the Bears run the double cross, and no one's open. Allen Robinson, he's covered. The crossing route, I mean, maybe. But you've got a good linebacker right over there. And Tariq Cohen, the intended receiver, running straight through. It's clear man coverage. And in this moment, the Bears are stuck. But here we go. So from there, Fields goes to make a play, but all that's happening is that the logs are getting jammed. So Fields takes off. Cohen presents himself the target. Goodwin presents himself the target. But for some reason, the defenders stick to their men until Fields crosses the line of scrimmage, and then at that point, it's just too late. Oh, we got a surprise block from number 86. Is this Goodwin? Because he out of absolutely nowhere. This is, yeah, it's Goodwin. He suddenly seals the play as he goes from presenting himself as a target to just making a scrappy little block here as he turns around, sets things up for Fields, and keeps it all together. By the way, my cat wants some attention. Come here, Cosmo. The public needs you. So, Cosmo's gotten a lot bigger over time. He's still my tiny little cat, and he likes, for some reason, just sitting in my arms. So we've got a nice little replay to dissect. We've got a cat to make happier as he is going to kick his head back and really just enjoy the lovin's. He is, I'll tell you what, having a cat has been a very different experience than growing up with a dog. That's for sure. Because the overwhelming majority of the time, Cosmo just wants to knock things over. This cup specifically gets knocked over all the time because he'll put his little paw on it. You can see him looking at it too. Like he'll put his paw on it and then just pull it down. And well, there you go. But yeah, so we got a nice little shot of the cat, very reminiscent of the cat from the Dallas game. I think it was last year that ran across the field. He's a good cat. Aren't you a good cat, Cosmo? But yeah, back to the contest at hand. Let's continue. We're going to run some defensive coordination while Cosmo takes this sit. So Cosmo's going to call plays. Let's see what he likes.
Right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told.
All right. So Justin Fields with the big rush plows it in. Can't say the Bears aren't taking rushing touchdowns, but you know, they come from the all-star himself, Justin Fields. So it might have been 2019. I feel like there are a good couple of cats all over the place that end up for some reason on football fields. It might have been 2019 though. Oh, now he's scrambling. Goodbye, Cosmo. Cosmo was like, calling defense. I don't play defense. Nope. Akusai, that's every drive. They try to calculate the emotional weight of every drive. So that it talks about how it takes, 7 million seconds and goes from there. Come on, Mac. Big sack. Big one. Right there. What is it? Khalil Mack's in the zone again. He's back, baby. Here we go. Let's get like a cover one Robert press right as the half ends. So good job, defense. Good job, Bears D. All right. This is one player, by the way, that I'm really excited to see how he develops. When Daz Newsome broke his collarbone, my first thought was, okay, so he's done. Because I completely forgot. Derek, I love that. I completely forgot that modern medicine means that, wait, we're starting with the ball? Heck, yeah. I like it. So let's see. I think we've got Mooney on Ramsey again over here. So Mooney's going to keep popping off, because why wouldn't he? Actually, Ramsey may still be over there on the right, so he's going to pick up Montgomery. But Mooney is my target across the middle here as he continues to try to make a play. So now we're going to go no huddle. Let's go play action read. We somehow got Jalen Ramsey to move inside there. So Kmet catches the ball going outside. He's out of bounds now. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Come on. We just got to torch Jalen Ramsey as much as we can. Let's see. Darnell Mooney somehow thinks that he gets a play off because he got hit. That's just not how this works, Darnell. As we're going to get another slant setup going. I don't like it at all, actually. So, Justin, let's bail out of the pocket. Let's get that ball out. Thank you. All right, let's run a zone peek. It's the same concept, basically, but we can run it off of a man. So, let's see here. I have to actually hand it to Cohen if it's right, which is the worst part. Cohen up the middle. It wouldn't be a Nagy play call without it, right? Let's run. Well, quarterback draw. I don't know. This seems Nagy. Let's see. 3rd and 4, running a draw with Cohen on 3rd down. It couldn't be more. But it's all just to set up the slip screen. It's because nobody sees the slip screen coming. Whoop. 1st down. There we go. Let's see. Do we have like a drive goal or something? Or am I just guesstimating? We've got a nice little pop pass option here. I think I somehow called the wrong play. So let's... Ooh, that is very vertical. We are out of time, though. So this is what we got. We're going to go. Did he pick up yards? No, they called it a sack. Bummer. All right. Whole offense is feeling bad. But we take these and we work magic with them. So who do we got there? So I can't actually see. Jalen Ramsey's covering it up. We got Riley Ridley taking some meaningful snaps of sorts. Oh no. And thank you, 88. Yeah, that's Ridley. Not fighting off that guy at all as the throw gets completely deflected and the Rams are right back in the game. All right, I'm going to actually find a way to pull this out. I can't lose this one. No way. So at this point, they're going to go for 2. Let's just run this. Why not? Man, of all the things, because I sat there pressing, what is that, B? I don't know, Case, because that wasn't even remotely close. That wasn't the area code where I would put it, or where I actually asked for it to go. But oh well, we move on. I don't know why Ridley didn't fight his way in front of the guy, but you know, it's all for the drama, apparently. And at some point, Daz is going to break something, but it is not today. So let's... Man, the worst part about the way I tend to run the ball is that the single back is where I start, but we aren't going to do that because I don't feel like the single back favors us. I'm also trying to stay away from what feels like a broken slip screen play. But so, yeah. No, I'm with... I can't tell who 4 is, but I'll tell you that the single digits thing for defenders feels awesome. I'm into it. Like 100%. It's the same feel as seeing a quarterback number where you're like, oh man, that guy's good. He plays quarterback. But instead, it's like Eddie Jackson and whatnot. Heck yes. Leonard Floyd with his 3rd sack of the game. Robert is cratering. So this is not what anybody wants, but it's what we've got. Let's throw a quick curl route. Just try to get back into the game. Let's see.
And he's not going to sniff the 1st down here. He stopped at the 25.
I feel like we can run a slip screen here and steal some yardage. Somebody's got to stop it eventually, and then I'll do it. But Floyd making plays all over the place. He's got 3 sacks on the day. Tariq Cohen right now is already swallowing his Adam's apple, just like, oh boy, big play right here. Oh my word, they stuffed it. You even saw Fields' arms start, and Aaron Donald's in the zone. I am earning this. We got to make some plays. Bears season can't crater now. This is all Nagy if it is. All right, here we go. Here we go. We can make this work. Oh, it was a huge risk, commentator. But we take those here in Chicago. All right, so we've got him pushed out of bounds. Thank goodness for second and inches, right? All right, so let's play nickel. I don't think they're going to run the ball at all. So I feel like if we can play some man cover, that could work. Just anything to get Max some time.
To throw is Stafford.
Yes! Jalen Johnson with the huge interception. Big port back to the 2005 the 2005 Rex Grossman Bears, as we're going to drag this all the way across before Jalen's big touchdown. Hit him with the spike, Jalen. Do it. 0 touchdowns, 3rd interception this season. That one couldn't have come at a better time. Here's a great angle. Don't throw the flat on Jalen Johnson, big dog. Matthew Stafford with 2 interceptions. That was the play the team needed. And we'll stick him back on offense. Leonard Floyd's having a revenge game, but Jalen Johnson's reminding Matthew Stafford that you can't get away from the Bears. And then, no kidding, Case, I feel like that's one of those numbers, talking about 33, that I'm surprised the Bears didn't tire it out right. But, hey, they must be really confident in Jalen if they let him have it. And they let him, and not to mention confidence from Jalen that he took it in the first place. So good on him. Let's get this rolling. So if I was going to actually draw up a defense at this point, I would probably be playing a whole lot of cover 2 variation zones. Cover 2 sync, stuff like that. It's all the sort of thing that I would be looking at because I think that this favors Jackson quite a bit. But obviously in Madden, it's not really working. Though at this point, I don't know, because I want we stole that one off of a cover 2 concept in the end zone, where the big problem here is that I think man coverage favors most other teams, unfortunately. I think man coverage is just hard. Like, to be clear, I think that you've got to be an incredibly talented defense to play man coverage super well at all on most snaps. It just helps you force the quarterback into tougher decisions when Kyle Fuller in years past, or in this case Jalen Johnson or Eddie Jackson, actually blankets their man well. Which, again, is it the most common thing in the world? No, because it's hard to blanket receivers. But when it does happen, you gain a big benefit out of it. Cam Akers picking up big yardage right there. All right, so yeah, that's big yards after contact. Quarterback contain, I keep hearing solid things about. I'm just trying to find any Madden defense that works. Because I swear, all these quarterbacks hit the point where when Jared Goff is exploding in the league, I'm sitting here like, what do you want me to do? Well, we've picked Stafford off twice, so certainly we're not doing badly. It's just a matter of making sure we do well. Let's get Mac through. Almost. 3rd and 1. Okay. Let's see. I want our standard nickel blitz with the linebacker, Jordan Lucas, I think, who has an interception on the season. And Mac makes the stop. There we go. Though I have a feeling they'll go for it here. Max in the zone, 4th and 2. That's what we want. He's basically been in the zone all game. But if they're really going to go for a field goal here with, like, what is this, 57-yarder? Hey, good on him. Go for it, pal. See how that works out for you. See how that works out for you. Bears up 10 points. Feeling good. 5 minutes left. There we go. So let's keep going. Let's get some yardage on the ground if possible. Though I hate this running setup, especially with the invert that they just ran. I expected the blitz. We got the blitz. Quick distribution. Kmet fumbled. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, Cole? Is this real? Is this real life? Are you kidding? Slim Jim, this will be the last game of the day, yeah. But Cole Kmet just takes it over the middle and fumbles on me. That. Oh, come on, Booth. Help me out. Whose ball? Yeah, they called Cole Kmet down. You didn't fumble. Thank you, Cole. Let's see if we can't get a little bit of running game going. Come on, Cullen. And he fumbles. That one he wasn't down. This is wild. This is unbelievable. Montgomery's got to be sitting over there laughing. What can I do? What do I do about that?
Defense had to make a
Freaking
play in order
fumbling.
to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
Go, Goldman. Okay, Desmond. Solid play there, coming downhill. I am curious to see how Desmond Trufant's going to respond to everything. I feel like there's a lot of, I don't know. There's a lot of good and there's a lot of bad coming out of Desmond Trufant. Mostly bad on account of the injuries. But to say there's a lot of good, honestly, I think I'm over-exaggerating just as I said it. But there's only so much you can do. Hopefully he fits in well with the passing scheme and we can go from there. Let's get this thing going. All the Bears have got to do is to just force some timeout or pull some timeouts out of the offense's hands and deny some clock here. Let's do it.
2 minutes left to play in this football
Okay,
game.
2-minute warning. Up 10. Bears have been struggling lately, but this here today, I think they can get away with it. Ooh. And then the end zone immediately. Yikes. 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 Here we go, squad. We're still ahead. It's just a matter of being able to run the clock out. And I feel like we're going to have to do it with David Montgomery because after Tariq Cohen fumbled, you better believe he's getting put back on the bench, unfortunately. The switch to the single back to try to get some speed on the running game clearly did not pay dividends because we got to give it to our feature back to just try to grind this game out. We need like 1 first down. So let's just call the fair catch for now. We can technically burn some clock running it out, but it doesn't make a huge difference, and Newsom hasn't broken one yet, so we might as well. Let's get Cohen. Oh no, not Herbert. I mean maybe, but not this, or not in this setting right here. Let's get inside zone working. Nobody loves the box, but we're gonna run the backside of inside zone. And man, Leonard Floyd is just going off. All right, so we've got our first timeout, and now we got to go from here. We got 2nd down. I feel like we can get away with a quick play action kind of pass, see if we can't juice out a first down. Certainly, it's been more successful than running the ball. And with Kmet like wide open, that's all you can hope for. First down. Nice contested catch by him too. Hopefully he can do a little bit more of that in real life, just away from Madden. But in this setting, you better believe we will take it just about however it comes. So let's get Horsted pulled across here, Montgomery right up the middle. Because now, with that first down, we've burned 2 timeouts. It's time to just start crunching clock. Okay, 3 yards. Could be a lot worse as the Bears try to close this thing out. With that being their last timeout, now we've just got to figure out a way to grind out those extra yards. Of course, they're going to set up in a run-heavy formation. They want us to pass, but we just got to kind of take what we can get and go from there. Nice blocking. Nice blocking by that offensive line. There we go. 3rd and 2. Let's see. What kind of play are we looking at? I feel like we turned to power running to try to get this, and I love the gaps that we're getting. They may flood it a little bit, but we will see. We're doing well. How about you, Elon? Let's let this clock die down. So we got like 18 seconds. Like, kick back and relax because we're going to run this pretty much right at the 2-second mark. And we're going to see if we can't grind out these 2 yards right behind James Daniels. 4, 3, 2. Come on. David Montgomery wins the game. Thank you. There we go. There we go. Elon, we struggled today. We dropped 2 games. Hurts. But, you know, it's how it goes sometimes. So, with that in mind and the game in hand, let's take this kneel. Well, I mean, a metaphorical kneel. See if we can't grab some extra yards. Just for the stats, right?
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup.
I think a nice little sprint flat. If this goes badly, everybody laugh. But I think we can get away with it. Nice job, Kmet. Oh, that didn't count. Oh well. We'll just run a power out and kill it because if I throw a pick 6 right now, I'm gonna be very sad.
What year was that?
1978.
There it is. Alrighty. We did it, fam. We are 4 and 2 and 1 to end the session here. Nice little 4-game session before the bye. We're picking up speed, so hopefully here by the end of preseason we will have won the Super Bowl. I mean, obviously that's the season's aspiration, right? Justin Fields picks up another bunch of touchdowns and one nasty interception that was 100% my fault. We're moving along. We're doing solid. Guys, it has been awesome. Fire up a couple questions as we close things down. I know it is 7 p.m. on a Sunday. That's dinner time for me. I don't know what it is for you. Feel free to let me know. But yeah, I mean, we are slowly clicking along towards actual Bears football to analyze, and I couldn't be more excited to do that. Matthew Stafford's mad. When you say viewing parties, what are you thinking, Worm? Like in terms of watch with me? I tend to watch it on my own, so you can follow along on my Twitter just to see what I'm thinking during the game, because I want to be able to take in the game as well as I can instead of necessarily hosting. But you better believe that we're going to be doing like after viewing, especially if as long as Game Pass can allow us to actually go through the coach's tape, we're going to be doing it as often as we can, which I hope it'll be every week, but we will see. James Daniels got an upgrade. I'm okay with that. Yeah, let's get him a little bit more of that pass projector. Perfect. Part of me wants to be the guy that can do like game hosting things, but I really want to be able to take the game in as we go. Let's see. Hey, I'm just glad that he said that we are, or it looks like we got away with one against Jalen Ramsey. You better believe we'll take it. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the league picture at this point. Oh man, Elon, that hurts. I know the feeling. Let's see. Allen Robinson's mad at me. Great.
Scouting points are earned every week. Use all of your points because a
portion
of the remaining points will be lost when you advance the week.
Let's see. Oh my gosh, 2 interceptions for Jalen? That's what people want? That's bananas. Let's see. We got Allen Robinson mad, so now he's mad too. Great. The Packers just won 3 in a row, so now they're 3-3. Bears in command of the division, 4-2-1. Let's see here. Yeah, let's take a look at the stats. Why not, right? All right, so let's look at the league. That makes sense. Like 1 pick and a tackle for loss or something. See, that sounds much more sane. All right, so looking at yardage here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Fields is like 14th in yardage with way less completions than everybody. Completion percentage-wise, it looks like everybody's, let's see. Okay, so Trey Lance definitely should have sorted somehow by people who didn't have 1 completion, for crying out loud. But Fields is leading the league in reasonable completion percentage with 77%. We like that. Let's see. Yards per game. Yeah, Fields probably isn't going to perform there. Touchdowns. Okay, still second in the NFL. Jared Goff still popping off. I don't know how he did it, but he's doing it. He's just going crazy. Okay, 2 skill plays. That makes much more sense. That's much more reasonable. Let's see. QBR. Are we tops now? No. Kellen Mond is. But outside of starters that aren't Chad Henne and Mond, who apparently stepped in and threw a touchdown pass, good for them. We've got, yeah, look at that. So they threw a 9-yard and a 7-yard touchdown pass. It's Fields and Russell Wilson. You know what? That's pretty solid company to be involved in. So we are wheeling, we are dealing. Matt Nagy's leaderboard, he's gone down due to the losses probably. We're best in the NFL for defense. Yay. Not popping off on the defensive awards, but you know, this is all right. Like, what do we got here? Joy. Yeah. Okay. So like, solid stuff overall. Does your YouTube hate you, Elon? That's the worst. Let's see. We could scout, but we don't need to. We've got a big game against the Saints coming up next week, folks. Big time. Any quick questions before we close up? It has been awesome getting to hang out with you. Always a good time. And we are so close to real Bears football. Can't you feel it? I can. It's exciting. It's an exciting time to be a Bears fan. We've got Justin Fields stuff coming up. This should be like a whole lot of fun. Thanks so much, Worm. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Guys, have a great rest of your night. Bear down, And thanks so much, you know it's coming, for bearing with me. Have a great rest of y'all's evening. I'll see you guys soon, and hopefully we'll have much, much more to talk about by then. Awesome.